broadcast here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Week 6 of college football, and we are back for more Panther football as today's action features your Prairie View University Panthers taking on the Southern Jaguars in a Western Division showdown of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Andre Davis here with you alongside Dr. Mike Prince, who's helping us out here on our pregame show, and he'll also be helping us out throughout today's broadcast. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, my man. I'm excited and ready to go. As the old boxing referee or announcer used to say, let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. Yes, sir. The Panthers taking on the Southern Jaguars here in Week 6 of college football. It is actually the official month of breast cancer awareness as well. So you see a lot of fans here pouring here at Blackshear Field wearing the pink, representing breast cancer awareness as well.
No doubt about it. And while we're doing the awareness, it's also October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well. So it's a lot of things going on. And look, go and get yourself screened and checked out. I just had a colonoscopy a couple of weeks ago. I'm still recovering from the drama, but all news as well. I didn't have any problems, and you don't have to worry about that, Dre. You're still a young man. But stay on top of that health, man, because there's only one body that you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely something that you have to stay on top of. So I've definitely been doing that, and hopefully I can continue doing that if the Lord shall allow me to continue to live. But that's great to hear. That's definitely great to hear. Well, as we get things rolling here for our pregame show, we just now tuning in to get the Panthers taking on the Southern Jaguars Western Division showdown. Panthers are returning home for this Saturday afternoon contest against the Southern Jaguars. They went on the road last week in the annual State Fair Classic game in Dallas, Texas, where they had no problem taking care of business against Grambling State by the score of 34-14. A very exciting matchup that's widely anticipated each and every year, and we were honored with the privilege to broadcast that game right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Last week's victory has the Panthers sitting at a 3-2 overall record, but more importantly, a 3-0 record in conference play. And for the Southern Jaguars, sitting right in the middle of the pack of the Western Division with a 1-1 record in conference play. Their last victory, more so a statement win, if you will, against Arkansas Pine Bluff by the score of 59-3.
No doubt about it. A statement it was, with the next target in their pathway being the Prairie View University Panthers. But on the flip side of that, Andre, the Panthers are coming in with somewhat of a chip on their shoulder. People often forget that they are the defending Western Conference or Western Division champions. They are undefeated in conference play, but yet they were selected to be number 3 out of the West behind the Southern Jaguars, led by Coach Dooley, and the Alcorn State Braves, led by Coach McNair.
And it's one of those situations where, you know, when you look at the rosters from for all the teams in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, of course you have players that are leaving and new coaches, so rosters look a little different. So I know they take a lot of things into consideration in terms of when they're doing their rankings of teams and who's going to finish in one place. But one of the things that we talked about, as you just mentioned, they are the defending Western champions of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And as we said before, you are the champions until you're the champions no more. So the Panthers are going to have to go out here and do that once again here today against the Southern Jaguars and prove that they are the defending Western Division champions.
Absolutely. It reminds me of a scene from the 5 Heartbeats when a guy got upset because his girl was flirting with one of the singers, and he got upset, said, I always got to defend your honor around these jokers. So the Panthers are going to have to defend their honor and protect that Western Division crown. They have the weapons to do so. They have the coaching staff to do so. They have the mojo to do so. Now it's just a matter of doing what we've been talking about from game 1, Andre, finishing strong in that second half, in particular the third quarters.
Yes, sir. Definitely finishing strong. And, of course, you know, both teams are coming off victories against their last opponents. And, of course, we know that, you know, when it comes to the Southwestern Athletic Conference, controlling your destiny is the key to success. Now, before we look ahead of today's matchup, just to kind of recap last week's performance from the Panthers for those that are listening but were not able to catch the game, And, of course, you can always catch the rebroadcast of Prairie View football on our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. But it was a total domination by the Panthers against Grambling State in last week's ball game, Mike.
No doubt about it. The Panthers had control, as you mentioned, on all phases of the game, offensively, defensively, and, of course, special teams just been magical all season long. And had a little slip-up in that third quarter, speaking with Coach Bubba McDowell throughout the course of the week, and he's saying they're still looking for that complete game. And the scary thing about it is they're still trying to find their way, Andre. And with that, man, that excites you if you're a PV fan.
It is, because it gives you something to look forward to. Because if you're PV Nation, you're thinking, oh, well, the Panthers have actually been playing well up to this point. But from a head coaching standpoint, who's actually in the trenches with his players day in and day out, if he's saying that, okay, we have been playing well, but there's still a whole lot of work to be done, and we have yet to play 4 full quarters of football here so far this season. So if you're Panther Nation, that is something to look forward to. And you mentioned the defense last week against Grambling, Mike. You know, they played exceptionally well. Given the game of that magnitude, you know, where typically the excitement of the crowd, the festivities, the State Fair Classic, all the emotions can get the best of you, the Panthers showed total domination defensively. You know, we talked about getting off the field in third down situations for the past 2 to 3 weeks now, and the Panthers, however, were able to change the overall trajectory of the game. So the Tigers were faced with third down situations 12 total times last week, and they were only successful twice the entire ball game. So getting off the field on third down is something we've preached about. The Panthers did exceptionally well at that last week, and overall it changed the trajectory of that game, and they were able to get a win out of it.
No doubt about it. And we talk about the changes that have been coming. This is by no way of trying to stomp on the prior leadership in the likes of Coach Eric Dooley. But this Panthers team, never no doubt about the talent, but there was always questions about the discipline, or should we say their lack of discipline. Many penalties that calls them out of the games. Dre, you know I have a theory. If you give up 100 yards in penalties, that's equivalent to giving up a touchdown. The Panthers, although there's still penalties at not the opportune times, but the penalties have been cut down drastically. Behaviors on and off the field have been cut down drastically. And I addressed that with Coach McDowell, and he was saying it was about a culture change. And we hear that word tossed around a whole bunch. Culture. Coach McDowell said it wasn't a hard transition because the kids already knew who he was. And we talk about the storylines. Well, of course, there's one big storyline that I'm going to be really focused on, and that's on that defensive line for the Southern Jags, going up against his old buddies from PV. But not only that, you got some coaches that were at Prairie View or now at Southern, and some coaches who came under the leadership of Dooley who were left behind. So, man, there is going to be anticipation all evening in this contest.
Well, this is one of those games where emotions are going to have to be controlled by not only the players, but by the coaches as well. Because to your point, you got a player that was once on a particular team, but now he's on a different team. You mentioned the coaches and the coaching staff as far as being under direction that was what they were under Eric Dooley, but now they're still here at Prairie View. Eric Dooley has, of course, moved on to now be the head coach of the Southern Jaguars. So you got all these emotions that are tied into this ball game. And while the head coaches and the coaching staff are going to have to channel the emotions of their players here in this game, they're also going to have to control their emotions as well, with just how big this game is and the magnitude of this game as well.
No doubt about it. So it's going to be who can hold their mule the longest and the tightest, and who can take advantage of opportunities, and who will be able to execute on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a lot. Dre, these are two high-powered offenses, but I don't see this being a bunch of points scored today. I could be totally wrong and end up being 77-70. I don't want to see that. Being a defensive guy, I know you offensive guys appreciate that, but I really think this is going to be a battle, and it's going to start and end in those trenches.
It is. It definitely is. Offensively, and we talked about the offense of the Panthers so far this season. By far, at least last week against Grambling State, by far the best that I've seen him play in terms of ball control and just the ability to move the ball down up and down the field willingly. Starting with that opening drive in the first quarter, if you remember, they started at the 20-yard line. They were on the 20-yard line. They went 80 yards in 16 plays. That was, of course, capped off by a 2-yard touchdown run by Jaden Stewart. They were only faced with a third down twice in that opening drive. So when we talk about the offense and the offense of Prairie View, their ability to control the ball is what has allowed them to be successful so far here in the season. So to your point, not a whole lot of points scored. I mean, for the Panthers, they're averaging right around 22 to 23 points per game. So not a whole lot of big scoring for the Panthers, but the main thing is ball control and time of possession is something that the Panthers has been successful on so far this season.
Yes, sir. And another note, they've been very dominant with the run control. They've been running at will on whoever has lined up in front of them. But I got a question for you, Dre. If you're the Panthers and you win the toss, do you, A, put your offense on the field first or your defense on the field first?
If you're the Panthers and you win the coin toss, you put your defense on the field, something the Panthers have been doing this season. And we're going to explore that more here in our pregame show. Looks like they're getting ready to gear up for the national anthem. So we're going to take a quick break and come back with more of our pregame show and the start of today's action. You're listening to Panther Football right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com. Or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith in athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. While we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Teague's Barbecue, and A Rocket Movers and Storage. Thank you for your continued support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. Don't forget, you can join the Temple of Refuge Ministries each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Dial 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom one soul at a time. We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage, but stay tuned and we'll be sure to return with more action of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, who's been serving student athletes since 1986. And for more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817. We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Be sure to listen to us live during our next broadcast coverage of Panther football on Saturday, October 22nd, as the Panthers will hit the road to take on Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Kickoff of that game is scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m., and we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch the play-by-play coverage live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network by dialing 857-777-0000. And again, it's only on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. We just concluded our national anthem and are also doing the Black national anthem as well. Dr. Mike Prince, how are you feeling, sir?
Feeling fine, sir. I'm feeling fine, and I'm ready for some football to get going on right now, man. And speaking of some football going on, I do have one early score for you. Texas Southern in front of University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff by the score of 10-3, and that game is late in the first quarter.
Well, thank you for that, sir. Now, you asked me a question before we went to break in terms of the Panthers win the coin toss, their field, or if they're going to let their defense be on the field first. Something that the Panthers have been doing at least for the last 3 weeks in a row now. The Panthers have won the coin toss, but however, they have put their defense on the field and let their defense get some action first. So if you're the Panthers, in my estimation, I will put your defense out there on the field. Your defense has been playing great so far this season. They're second overall in the Southwest Athletic Conference in terms of all the defensive categories that you can think of. So your defense has been playing great so far this season. So I will put them on the field first and let them do what they've been doing for you so far this season.
Yes, sir. Well, and I guess with you being at home, you want to get the crowd on your side quick, and then you want to set that tempo. So you get a long, methodical drive with some points. Then you kind of put the pressure back on the Jaguars because we know Coach Dooley likes to play fast. He's always been on the record for saying he likes to consider his team as a basketball team on a football field as far as the speed is concerned. And hopefully they can play their way into some trouble today.
Well, the defense so far this season has been fueling the offense, in my estimation, Mike. They put the defense out there in the field first. The defense is able to get a stop, 3 and out, or even if the offense is able to get a first down, the defense don't give up any points, usually on the first drive so far this season. So that's actually really the standout for the defense. And typically when the offense comes out on the field, you can just feel the electricity in the atmosphere that they're pumped up based on how well the defense performed in the previous drive, and then they go out there and they at least put some points on the board in the opening drive. They've been able to do that so far here these last couple of weeks against their opponents. So that defense has been fueling the offense so far this season, at least here recently, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to do that here in this ball game today as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. The crowd is thickening up, Andre. The atmosphere is revved up and ready to go. We are wanting to give you a little, as I say, disclaimer. There's been some challenges internally with the stadium's crowd mic, so we're going to be hopefully be able to get that, and hopefully at least we'll have the referee's mic for today's broadcast. But nonetheless, Brother Dre is going to lead the way as we get ready to listen to some exciting Panthers action here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got about 6:45 here left on the game clock before we get ready to start for today's action. Teams on their way, making their way onto the field, just to be exact. While we still have a little bit of time here in our pregame show, Mike, and we talked about offensively for the Panthers, specifically the rush attack of this Panther offense all season long, mainly because of how well they stood out in that category, ranking third in the Southwest Athletic Conference in terms of rushing yards per game. Last week, although they didn't have a running back break the 100-yard rushing marker, Ahmad Antoine was close with 93 yards rushing on 16 carries. But collectively, as a unit, and I stress the word collectively because they got multiple backs that can get the job done. Collectively as a unit, the Panthers ran for 244 yards against Grambling. And those yards were split between Ahmad Antoine, the quarterback Trayvon Conley, the freshman running back Connor Wysham, Jaden Stewart, Bernard Goodwater, and the other veteran running back, Christian Mosley. Now, I bring this up because the Panthers are in a very unique situation where they have 5 total running backs who are more than capable of running the football successfully, not to mention the quarterback who is also dangerous on his feet and is ranked in the top 10 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference in terms of rushing yards for the Panthers. So how much of that is a unique situation for the Panthers, Mike, especially offensively when you have multiple backs that can get the job done like that?
Well, what it does, it keeps your backs fresh. It keeps them healthy. It keeps the line motivated because they don't want to be known as showing favorites, right? So they got to keep on grinding and creating these lanes for these guys to run through. Now, we got 5 backs, and really, I'm going to say 5.5 backs when you count Connolly, because he has the ability to throw the ball as well as run the ball. And so you got a plethora of weapons. But here's something, Andre, that we need to pay very close attention to. Wide receivers, not being critical, but they have dropped some balls in some critical drives, in particular on 3rd down. They could have extended some drives to possibly lead to some more points. More importantly, run off some time on their clock when you have the lead. So we know that the theory is, if you're going to run, we're going to load the box and make you beat us by throwing. So the Panthers are going to have to execute when they do throw the ball to make sure that those guys hold on to it.
Well, we talked about the passing for the Panthers so far this season, or the lack thereof, or should I say. And we know that the quarterback, Trajan Conley, somewhat received some criticism at the beginning of the season in terms of his ability to throw the ball down the field. But through my eye test, I will point out that there have been several times, to your point, that Conley has thrown some balls on the money, and it's just in and out of the receiver's hands, wasn't able to really haul it in. Of course, we're not going to name any names here, but to your point that, yes, there's been some drop balls so far here recently in recent play for the Panthers. Conley has put the ball on the money several times, and they just weren't able to haul it in. But nonetheless, no doubt about it that the Panthers are going to try to rely heavily on their run game, something they've been doing so far this season, and I have no doubt they're going to try to do that here again against Southern in this ball game.
No doubt about it. Andre, while we're anticipating the kickoff, let us get caught up on scores throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference. At halftime right now, you have the Texas Southern Tigers on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff by the score of 10-7. Florida A&M is leading 20-0 over South Carolina with about 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Here's a game of interest right now. Grambling playing against Alabama A&M, and they are all tied at 17 at halftime. And with the start of the 3rd quarter just coming out of halftime, you have Jackson State on top of Alabama State by the score of 10-6. Of course, the game of interest will be Prairie View taking on the Southern Jaguars, and Bethune-Cookman will be taking on Tennessee State a little bit later on today. And another game that will be coming on later on this evening will be Alcorn at Mississippi Valley. That game is scheduled for a 6 p.m. kickoff.
Well, it's going to be interesting to get the rest of those scores, those scoring updates throughout today's ball game, Mike. So thank you so much for that. We'll be anticipating what those scores are going to be once this game concludes. As the teams are running out onto the field to get this ball game started, we got the captains in midfield ready to do today's coin toss with about 1:40 remaining here on this game clock.
Well, I've always believed in calling heads.
I've actually have been a tails guy myself. That is interesting. I've always called tails. I've heard tails never fails.
Tails never fails. Okay. And a man with a good head on the shoulder always calls heads.
So the coin toss has concluded. The Southern Jaguars actually won the coin toss, but they will be deferring to the second half. So the Panthers will get this ball to start today's action, Mike.
Yeah, let's get this party started, sir. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started. Well, we got 50 seconds and counting remaining here on the game clock. Teams have come out into the field. The Panthers are in the purple jersey with the gold pants and the gold helmets with the gold numbers. As for Southern, it's coming in their all white helmet, white pants, white tops, with the blue, the baby blue numbers.
Yeah, those are not the easiest numbers to see from the booth, but we'll do the best that we can.
As always, we will do the best we can. Well, that pretty much concludes our pregame show here for today's ball game, and we are ready for some Panther action as they will be taking on the Southern Jaguars in the Western Division Showdown. I stress Western Division enough, Mike, because we talked about here at the beginning of our pregame show, controlling your destiny is key, and it's definitely going to be key for the Panthers to try to get a win here against Southern, who actually share the same division with them in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
No doubt about it. No disrespect to the other Western Division opponents, but this is step 2 of 3 to all but secure the Western Division. You've taken care of those in front of you. Texas Southern, check off. Grambling, checked off. Now with Southern University, you have to check that off. You have the bye, and then Lamar, and then the big check will be Alcorn. But first things first, let's handle these Jags.
First thing first, handle these Jags, and we're going to see if the Panthers can definitely do that. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. If you're just now tuning in, the Panthers are set to do battle against the Southern Jaguars. We're broadcasting live from Blackshear Field by way of Prairie View A&M University, better known as The Hill. And it is nothing like it. The fans are starting to pour in here for today's ball game. As we mentioned before, this is the official Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we see fans with a lot of pink on in today's game, as Panther Nation has showed up here and are ready to cheer on the beloved Panthers. Teams haven't come out to the field just yet. If you're just now tuning in, the Jaguars won the coin toss, but they will be deferring to the second half. So Trayvon Conley and company will get the ball to start this ball game. We talked about it before. Starting out fast has been something that the Panthers have had no problem doing so far here this season. What we're going to be looking for, and something that even head coach Bubba McDowell is going to be looking for, is 4 complete quarters of play here against the Southern Jaguars. 4 complete quarters is what we're going to be looking for. The Panthers have started out strong so far this season, at least through the first 3 quarters of play, and we're going to be looking for 4 complete quarters here in this ball game.
Be interested to see what's the first play they call from the scrimmage. I'm anticipating a pass.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike, because the start of the ball game last week against Grambling State, of course, the Panthers deferred to the second half, but once they got on offense first, their opening drive, the very first play was a pass play. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Panthers are going to call a pass on first down or if they're going to go with the run game. Of course, head coach Bubba McDowell has no doubt about it, understands that everybody in the Southwestern Athletic Conference is going to be trying to stop the run game of the Panthers. As I mentioned before, they are 3rd in the SWAC in terms of rushing yards per game. So we know the rushing attack for the Panthers has worked for them so far this season. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to start with on first down. As the kick return team is trotting out onto the field for the Panthers, and back for the Panthers will be number 4, Xavier Johnson. As the Jaguars will be kicking from left to right. And this kick is off, and it will be fielded out of bounds. So the Panthers will get this first possession starting at their own 25-yard line. Panthers will be moving from right to left. Andre Davis here alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. Panthers are ready to do battle here against the Southern Jaguars. And trotting out to the field for the Panthers will be the quarterback, Trayvon Conley. And Conley is going to be accompanied by the running back, Ahmad Antoine. As they're waiting to get things settled here.
It sounds like where a crowd might is trying to get acclimated here. You hear some little distant humming in the background. That's not Andre I gargling. We've been trying to get the crowd might have adjusted here at the start of the game. You know, a lot of people show up at 4 o'clock. We show up 3 hours beforehand trying to make sure this stuff is right.
Yes, sir. Well, the Panthers went with a run on first down. We was wondering what they was going to do, and it was a huge, huge game by the running back, Ahmad Antoine. And he gets this one all the way down inside Jaguar territory. Ball's now placed at the 42-yard line of the Jaguars. Panthers moving right to left. Panthers go with a hurry-up offense. Conley, back to pass. He has a man. That pass is going to be complete past the 40. He's going to be brought down right at the 35-yard line. Ty Holden on the reception for the Panthers. That's going to bring up another first down for the Panthers. Ball now placed at the 35-yard line. Collins got 3 receivers to his right and 1 to the left. Antoine's going to be offset to his right. Another handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. He's trying to break to the right side. Not a whole lot doing there, as he was brought down right at the line of scrimmage. He's actually going to lose about 1 yard on the play. But check that. They actually place the ball now at the 34-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Panthers. On that previous play, it actually was not a first down. There was a 9-yard pickup by Ty Holden on the reception. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Panthers. Another handoff to Antoine up the middle, lowers his shoulder. He's going to be brought down right at the first down marker, depending on the spot, and they will give him a first down.
I was going to say, that's got to be a home field spot right there, man. Let's keep the chains moving.
Keep the chains moving. Panthers looking sharp here so far on this opening drive. And they will have first down. Ball now plays at the 33-yard line. Collins going to have 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Christian Mosey now checks in as a running back for the Panthers. A throw on first down. Pass going to be caught right at the 25-yard line. That's going to be complete to number 17, Collier Ricks. Gain of 8 on the play. Christian Mosey will stay in as a running back for the Panthers. He's going to be offset to Conley's right. Conley's going to have trips to the right. And he's going to look right, throw right real quick, and that pass is going to be incomplete, nearly intercepted. As Conley was looking for Chris Herring on the right side, nothing doing on that play. So that's going to bring
Herring has been
for the Panthers. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Andre. Herring has been known as the slash for the Panthers because he plays receiver and quarterback.
Yes, sir. He plays receiver and quarterback. He was in on that play. Conley tried to get him to him. It was a quick pass to the right side. It was broken up and nearly intercepted. Panthers catch a break on that play. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 2. 12-14 remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers on the move. Another handoff. This time he fakes it, and he has a man downfield, and that pass is going to be caught on the far side of the field. And they're going to rule incomplete. Was not able to get 1 foot in bounds. Conley had Xavier Johnson on the far side of the field. This is college football. You only need 1 foot in bounds. And he was not able to get the foot in bounds. So it's going to bring up an incomplete pass and a 4th down coming up for the Panthers as the field goal team comes out into the field. Ball's placed at the 25-yard line. So it's going to be a 42-yard field goal attempt by Luis Reyes. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. He splits the upright. But we do have a flag on the play. And there's some cheering going on by the Jaguars, which may indicate this penalty could be against the Panthers.
Well, they take the points off the board. Reyes has a strong enough leg to send it through again.
So it was an unsportsmanlike conduct charge against the Panthers. So the kick is good, and that 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. So 12:03 remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this one by the score of 3-0. Panthers looking strong so far there on that opening drive. Wasn't able to cap it off with a touchdown, but they were able to put 3 points on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, here's a twist for you, Andre. 7 plays run for the Panthers, and believe it or not, they had more passing plays in this series than run plays. 4 passes to 3 runs. Go figure that one out.
Definitely. The Panthers mixing things up there on that opening drive. And you mentioned what the Panthers are going to run on first down to start the opening drive. They went with a huge run. It was a run by Maud Antoine with a huge run to be exact. And he was able to break through and get inside Jaguar territory. Panthers weren't able to cap off on that last play. Trayvon Conley had Xavier Johnson on the far side of the field. They went with a play action fake to be exact. Had the Jaguars defense forward a little bit because Xavier Johnson, there was nobody with him. If Xavier Johnson was able to haul that one in and get at least a foot in bounds, the Panthers could have been looking at first and goal. But nonetheless, the Panthers were able to cap off that drive with 3 points, and they're up 3-0 here in this ball game with 12:03 remaining.
Yes, sir. Very important that they did score on their first possession.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we have a quick break. We're going to take a quick break and come back. And when teams go back out into the field, Panthers on top of this one by a score of 3-0. You listen to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
While we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Teague's Barbecue, and A Rocket Movers and Storage. Thank you for your continued support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. 12:03 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this by a score of 3-0. There was a unsportsmanlike conduct foul charged against the Panthers after the field goal, and we talked about the emotions of this ball game and how the players are going to have to try to keep their emotions in check here in this game, Mike.
No doubt about it, Andre, and it's still early, and that's one against the Panthers right now. You know we're going to have to keep track of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, instead of kicking at their own 35-yard line, the Panthers are going to be kicking at their own 20-yard line.
This could be good position for the Jags.
Yes, sir. Well, hopefully the kicker can get a leg under this one as the Jaguars are going to be back at their own 20-yard line waiting to get this one. And he's going to field this at the 20. He's going to get past the 30, past the 35, past the 40. He sees a lane up the middle. He's still going. He's going to be brought down right at the 48-yard line. We'll see what the officials officially mark this one. And to your point, excellent field position for the Jaguars to start their first drive here in this first quarter.
Well, you talked about putting the defense on because they've been showing dominance. Here's the time for them to bow their necks, flex their muscle, and stop the Jags on this very important first drive of the season, or the series, I should say.
Yes, sir. And trotting out to the field for the Jaguars will be their quarterback, Deshaun McCray. And he's going to be accompanied by the running back, Gerald Sims. Sims going to be offset to his left. McCray is going to have 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. He sends a man in motion. McCray back to pass. He looks right, throws right. He has a man that passes caught, past the 45, past the 40. He's tripped up, and he's going to be brought down right at the 38-yard line. It's going to be a first down for the Jaguars. Jaguars go with a pass play on first down. Picks up a nice gain. And they're well within Panther territory. Ball now plays at the 38-yard line of the Panthers. Jaguars moving left to right. And they're going to go with a play action fake. He has a man to the left side. That pass is caught past the 30, past the 25, and he's brought down right at the 23-yard line. Another first down for the Jaguars. Keyshawn Johnson was able to make a stop on that play, but it will be another first down for the Jaguars. McCray's got 3 receivers. Check that. 2 receivers to his right and 1 to the left. They're going with a hurry-up offense. Sims lined up directly behind him. He's going to hand off to Sims at the left side, follow his blockers past the 20, still on his feet, and he's brought down right at the 15-yard line.
Right now, Dooley is keeping the Panthers off balance, taking advantage of their aggression with those play actions to soften up for the run.
Taking advantage of the play action fake, they're going with a hurry-up offense. They're pushing the tempo here due to their excellent field position they had to start this opening drive. And have another first down. Ball now plays at the 15-yard line of the Panthers. Hand off to Sims to the left side. He turns upfield. He's brought down right at the 10-yard line with a 5-yard pickup for Sims. 10-10 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this one by a score of 3-0 as the Jaguars are knocking on the door here in this first quarter. Ball is now placed at the 10-yard line of the Panthers. McCray got 2 receivers to his left and 3 to the right. The Jaguars going to go with an empty backfield setup. As it looks like we have a stoppage in the play, it appears that the Jaguars are trying to get offside for the Panthers. And we have a timeout on the field, charge against Prairie View. 9:46 remaining here in the first quarter. Jaguars on top of this one by the score of 3-0.
You're listening to Panthers football action here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View A&M University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The hill is where the heart is.
9:46 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this one by a score of 3-0. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Jaguars. Ball placed at the 10-yard line. Jaguars moving left to right. McCray drop back his pass. He's being pressured. He's going to have to throw this one away. Incomplete. As he was pressured by the big man, T-Roy James. Normally, he normally goes by Troy James, the defensive lineman, but we were informed before this game started that he would like to go by T-Roy James. He was able to get some pressure on Sean McCray.
He makes a big play. He said, "Don't you call me Troy? It's T-Roy," and he's gonna put his exclamation point. That's all right.
Yes, sir. Well, he put an exclamation point on that last play as Sean McCray was pressured by T-Roy James, and he had to just throw that one away. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for the Jaguars. Ball plays at the 10-yard line. McCray back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's just going to try to take this one himself. Past the 10, past the 5. He has a little bit of room. And they're going to say it's a touchdown, Jaguars. Sean McCray with the quarterback keeper. He was looking to throw the ball, didn't have a man downfield. He decides to take it himself, and he goes in for a 10-yard touchdown for the Jaguars to put 6 on the board with the PAT to follow.
Well, that's what happens when you go to man coverage. Your receivers are running routes downfield, and your defensive backs are turned. And he took advantage of the lanes created by the rush up the middle. He steps up in, skirts to the corners for the touchdown.
And typically in situations like this, especially when you get inside the red zone, of course, things get kind of tighter, and it may be hard to find a window to throw the ball in. And Sean McCray noticed that, and instead of just throwing this one away or instead of throwing an interception, he found the lane, and he was able to get inside for a touchdown. As the snap it down, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Jaguars now take the lead here in the first quarter. On top of this one by the score of 7-3. And we didn't get a chance to talk about this during our pregame show, Mike, but Sean McCray, the quarterback for the Jaguars, kind of has a similar style to our quarterback of the Panthers, Trayvon Comley. Nothing to speak about in terms of through the air so far this season, but he is a guy that can definitely get things done with his feet. He counts 1,001, 1,002, and if he doesn't have a man, he will take off down the field, and he was able to get a score for the Jaguars in that opening drive.
Yes, sir. And what's going to have to happen, the Panthers are going to have to just create a spy, if not 2, on them probably while running some man look with some zone over the top coverage so they can make these adjustments to slow that down because the Jags just took it right to the Panthers on their opening drive.
Well, yes, sir. We'll see if the Panthers can make an adjustment here. Still early in this ball game. They're down 7-3 with 9:35 to go here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Don't forget, you can join the Temple of Refuge Ministries each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Dial 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom one soul at a time. We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage, but stay tuned, and we'll be sure to return with more action of Panther football right here at the Upper Lake Broadcast Network. Today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, who's been serving student-athletes since 1986. And for more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Lake Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. Jaguars had no problem putting points on the board on that opening drive. They're on top of this one by the score of 7-3, although it was due to having excellent field position, and they had this one starting at their own 45-yard line, and they was able to draw the ball with no issues there on that opening drive, Mike.
I'm sorry about that. I was talking and didn't realize I was potted down, sir. You're absolutely right. That penalty so far cost the Panthers 7. Would you agree?
Yes, sir. And we talked about penalties in our pregame show. You have to play all phases of the ball game, especially in a game like this. And penalties is definitely a key thing. And we mentioned during our pregame show that so far the Panthers have been able to keep their penalties under 10. It seems like during the certain courses of the game, there have been penalties against the opposing team, and the Panthers are able to kind of take advantage of it. In this particular case, a personal foul charge against the Panthers on that on that field goal on the previous drive that allowed for the Jaguars to have excellent field position, and they was able to cap that off with a touchdown on their own to lead this one 7-3 with 9:35 to go here in the first quarter. As the kick return team is back on the field, as the Jaguars are ready to kick this one off, they're going to be kicking from left to right. As the veteran running back Christian Mosley will be back to field this one, along with Xavier Johnson. Nice kick, and this one's going to be fielded inside the end zone. He decides to take it out past the 10, past the 20. He has a little bit of speed on it, past the 30. He's going to be brought down right at the 28-yard line.
Well, I can tell you this, Andre. He wasn't thinking about fair catch and left. He said, if I touch this ball, I'm bringing it out. And he did exactly that. Got it 3 yards more than what you would have gotten off the fair catch or the deep kick. So let's see what these Panthers can do, man. Both teams have scored on their first possession. Let's see what happens in round 2.
Ball plays at the 29-yard line of the Panthers. Panthers go with an empty backfield setup. Trayshawn Conley is going with the quarterback keeper, but he's going to be tripped up for no gain on the play. They may give him 1 yard, and they're going to do just that. So he got 1 yard on the play. Panthers went with an empty backfield setup. He had 3 receivers to his right and 1 to the left. He decides to go with the quarterback keeper, and he only picked up 1 yard on the play. So 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Ball plays at their own 30-yard line. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Conley back to pass. He has a man. That pass is caught at the 40-yard line, and he's going to push himself forward for a first down. That was Ty Holden on the reception for the Panthers. 2 catches so far here in this first quarter. Both have been for solid pickups, and a first down for the Panthers.
Good job. Good job keeping them off balance.
Ball plays now at the 42-yard line. Panthers moving right to left. Empty backfield set up for the Panthers. 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Conley sends a man in motion. He's going to fake it, keeping himself up the middle. He has a little bit of lane past the 50, and he's going to be brought down inside Jaguar territory for another Panther first down.
Well, this is like a heavyweight fight, Andre. You jab me, I jab you back. I'm going to counter you, and we're going to keep throwing these blows, and the better man win. Well,
the Panthers are countering so far here on this second drive as they went with a left hook on that play, if you will, by Trayshawn Conley. He picks up a first down for the Panthers. Ball now placed at the 44-yard line of the Jaguars. Another key by Trayshawn Conley. He spins to the left side, and he's going to be brought down after picking up a 9-yard gain for the Panthers. Trayshawn Conley getting things done here on this drive as he picks up another solid gain for the Panthers. Going to bring up 2nd and 1. Ball's now going to be placed at the 37-yard line. Panthers moving right to left. 7:30 to go here in the first quarter. Jaguars on top of this one by the score of 7-3. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. The freshman running back Connor Wysham now checks in the game, and he's going to be offset to Conley's left. A handoff to Wysham up the middle. He's going to be brought down, but not before getting another Panthers first down.
Yeah. Keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving.
Ball is now placed at the 30-yard line of the Jaguars. Panthers on the move here on this second drive. And Ahmad Antoine will check in for Connor Wysham now. He's going to be offset to Conley's right. Conley's going to have two receivers to his left and one to the right. As Conley looks to the sideline to get the call, he's walking at the line of scrimmage. Conley's going to send a man in motion. Conley, back to pass. He has a man. That pass is caught. Past the 30, past the 25, and he's going to be brought down right at the 24-yard line. Number 17, Collier Ricks on the reception for the Panthers. Gain of about 5 yards on the play. Panthers go with a hurry-up offense. Collins got two receivers to his right and one to the left. Antoine offset to his left. Handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He gets past the first wave of defenders, brought down past the 20. And they're going to officially mark this one at the 18-yard line. But it's going to be another first down for the Panthers.
Move them sticks.
Panthers pushing the tempo. Hurry-up offense. This time, play action fake. He has a man. That pass is going to be caught in the end zone for a Panthers first down. The redshirt senior, Jalen Howard, on the reception for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's how you respond, Dre. That's how you respond like a grown man.
The Panthers went with a play action fake, and Conley threw a dart to Jalen Howard in the end zone. The Panthers go on top of this one, 9-7, here in the first quarter with the PAT to follow.
Well, Dre, as they get ready for the PAT, the word on the street is that Prairie View can't throw. Right now, we got about as balanced attack as Prairie View has done. 8 runs, 7 passes, and you just heard this pass completed for Connolly to put the Panthers in front.
Well, the Panthers are answering that call as a snapping down on the kick is up, and it is good. So the Panthers take the lead here, 10-7 in favor of the Panthers with 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. And you mentioned a boxing match, Mike, going back and forth, and what way that the Panthers were able to respond there on that second drive.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Andre. Most of the times what people try to execute is hard for them to defend. And what I'm saying, we know Dooley likes to go fast-paced, nonstop, attack. Well, when you are facing an opponent who has the similar mode and mentality, now you're going to have to start countering to try to offset. Because one thing that we can expect later on in this game, testosterone is going to kick in. Egos are going to kick in. And you got to keep, that's when we talk about those emotions, not just with the players, but with the coaching staff. Now, this thing is going to go down, and I'm putting it down on paper right now, a critical coach's decision. Let's not let the emotions get the best of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it almost makes you wonder, with all the running that the Panthers have been doing so far this season, it almost makes you wonder if it was more of a setup as to what was to come. As you mentioned before, all the criticism about the Panthers and their ability to not be able to throw the ball so far this season, well, we're definitely seeing that so far here in this ball game, and even before this ball game, when they played against Grambling, even when they played against Alabama State, the Panthers were starting to show more of their offense, especially through the air, and not only through the air, but start to show it successfully, and they did that so far here in that second drive. We don't have any official stats yet, but I don't believe the Panthers were even faced with a third down in that drive, and if so, I would say maybe one time they was moving the ball crisp down the field through the air and through the ground. And we talked about Trayvon Conley and his ability to throw the ball. Usually so far here in the 2022 season, he's not averaging no more than maybe 10 pass attempts per game. And already here in this first quarter, it's going to be interesting to see just how many he's already got, how many pass attempts he's got here in this first quarter for the Panthers.
He's thrown 7 passes thus far, and offensive coordinator Mark Frederick promised me, he said, Mike, you're going to see a totally different game this week. And he said, we've been waiting for such a time as this. And they are showing up and showing out thus far?
Well, the Panthers are showing out so far. They threw a haymaker on that last drive. We're going to call this a boxing match. We're going to keep up with the boxing metaphor. A haymaker by the Panthers to go up 10-7. As the kicking team is out on the field, it's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line, past the 20, past the 25, past the 30. There is a flag on the play, past the 40. He's going to be brought down just right at the 45-yard line. We do have a flag on the far side of the field. Could be holding against the kicking team. Check that, the return team.
That sounds better.
Yes, sir, and it will be a holding penalty charge against the receiving team. So it's going to back the Jaguars up. They had excellent field position to start their opening drive. Not so much here on this second drive. The ball now is at their own 20-yard line.
It's time to get it cracking.
Yes, sir. 5:38 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this by a score of 10-7. As McCray is going to have two receivers to his left and two to the right. Sam's going to be offset to his left. Play action fake pass completed on the far side of the field, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds near the first down marker. Picks up about 7 yards on the play. He was able to stay in bounds, so clock will continue to run here in this first quarter. 5:18 to go. As the Jaguars going to try to push the tempo a little bit with a hurry-up offense. Two receivers to the left and two to the right for McCray. This time he's going to hand off to his field, and he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage by number 9, Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle where he was trying to run, and he was able to stuff the line of scrimmage for a gain of no yards on the play.
Well, we talked about that winning at the trenches, and right now it's been a dogfight on both sides of the ball, Andre.
Dogfight on both sides of the ball. Panthers defense looking sharp here so far here on this next drive. They're starting to play with that swagger that we've seen so far this season. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Jaguars. Ball plays at the 28-yard line. A handoff to Sims, and he's going to be met up the middle, but he does keep his legs pushing, and he will have enough for a Jaguars first down. He was brought down by number 11, Kevin Victorian, but he was able to get enough for a Jaguars first down. Ball now plays at the 33-yard line. Jaguars moving left to right. Two receivers to the left and two to the right for McCray. Check that. And McCray is going to throw this one to the far left side of the field. That pass is going to be caught, but he's going to gain no yards on the play. As number 46, Kendon Jones, the linebacker, on the stop for the Panthers. As we do have a stoppage in the play. We're waiting to get the call. 3:58 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this one by the score of 10-7. So it looks like there were 2 fouls on the play, charged against both teams.
They'll call that offset.
Yes, sir. It will offset after the play. There was personal foul calls charged against both teams. And we talked about the emotions of this ball game. The Panthers are going to have to be smart. They're going to have to be disciplined, especially after the play.
Yes, indeed.
Penalty. Yes, sir. There was a previous penalty after a play that was costly against the Panthers that contribute to the Jaguars getting their first score here in this ball game.
Hopefully emotions get settled down and they can execute on ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So ball now officially will be placed at the 33-yard line. Those penalties will offset. It will bring up second down for the Jaguars. As that last play went for nowhere on the catch by the Jaguars. So it will be 2nd and 10 with 3:58 to go here in the first quarter. As we still have stoppage in the play. Play hasn't resumed just yet.
Well, they're probably trying to get the clock adjusted because it was 3:58 at the start of that last play, and the clock is still at 3:58. So there might be some malfunctioning going on with the scoreboard.
Yes, sir. It appears that may be what they're trying to get situated. But the play will resume with now 3:50 to go here on the play clock. 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for McCray. McCray back to pass. He has a man that pass complete, pass to 35, and he's going to be met right at the 37-yard line. Picks up some positive yards for the Jaguars. Not enough for a first down. Check that. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Jaguars.
This is where the Panthers got to make it happen. They got to make it happen right here.
Yes, sir. We talked about 3rd downs for the Panthers and getting off the field. They were pretty good. They were successful at that against Grambling last week. We'll see if they can get off the field here on 3rd down. Ball's placed at the 37-yard line. McCray back to pass. He has no man. He's just going to keep it himself up the middle, and he's going to be brought down, but he will not have enough for a Panthers first down. The big guy, T-Roy James, on the stop for the Panthers.
Not Troy, but T-Roy?
Not Troy. I may get tripped up. You have to forgive me if you. We've been calling him Troy James all season long. But he comes into this ball game and he wants to be known as T-Roy James. And he comes up with another big stop for the Panthers there on 3rd down as the teams will stay out onto the field. Ball's placed at the 42-yard line of the Jaguars, moving left to right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Jaguars thought about it. They changed their mind as the punting units were coming out to the field, but we do have a timeout charge against the Jaguars.
That testosterone.
The testosterone is working. It appears that they were going to try to go for it on 4th down. It's 4th and 1 to be exact. And it looks like the punting units will come out to the field, but we do have a timeout charge against the Jaguars. With 2:18 to go here in the first quarter, Panthers on top of this one by a score of 10-7.
We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Be sure to listen to us live during our next broadcast coverage of Panther football on Saturday, October 22nd, as the Panthers will hit the road to take on Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Kickoff of that game is scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m., and we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch the play-by-play coverage live right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network by dialing 857-777-0000. And again, it's only on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
And welcome back to Panther football. As it looks like the punting units came out to the field, but they still decided to go for it on 4th down, and he's going to be brought down near the 1st down marker.
I was thinking fake before you went to the break, but you got to watch your testosterone. That's why I hollered out testosterone. And I was going to say, don't be sure if they don't try to fake this one here.
Well, they went with a fake on that play, but they did not get it. He was tripped up right at the 1st down marker, and it will be a turnover on downs. But check that. They did give it to him. I do apologize. They did. Looks like they did give it to him. And it will be 1st down for the Jaguars. Ball now placed at the 44-yard line. McCray back to pass. He has a man downfield, and that pass is caught inside Panther territory. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Another 1st down for the Jaguars.
Now, in a minute, Dre, I'll tell you what that 4th down meant.
Yes, sir. So a huge pickup through the air by the Jaguars, as they now find themselves in Panther territory. Ball placed officially at the 34-yard line of the Panthers. Jaguars moving left to right. McCray, 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. He has a man downfield. That pass is going to be caught inside the 20, and he's going to be brought down right at the 14-yard line. Another 1st down for the Jaguars. Clock continues to roll here on those 2 completed passes. We got 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Panthers on top 10-7. Jaguars pushing the tempo, hurry up offense. As we have some movement on the front line, should be false start charge against the Jaguars.
Now, while they sort that out, Andre, let me go back. We talked about it, the testosterone and the ego from Coach Dooley. Going for it on 4th down in your own territory in the first quarter, it tells me two things. A, you don't trust your defense like you should, and B, you think you got to play keep up and catch up with the Panthers offensively.
And the Panthers were definitely looking for it. They stopped him. He got the first down, but he got just enough for the first down. As that false start will back the Jaguars up. Ball now placed at the 19-yard line of the Panthers. As McCray dropped back to pass, but he's going to be sacked in the backfield by number 2, Jesse Evans, the linebacker. Came from McCray's blind side. He did not see him coming. And that's going to back the Jaguars up. Ball now placed at the 24-yard line.
The first step is the best step of a defensive rusher. And beat your man on that first step. The only thing that would have been sweeter was a strip sack or a scooping score.
Well, that last play will take us to the end of the first quarter here from Blackshear Field. Panthers on top of this. I'm about to score of 10-7. One take a quick break, come right back with more Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by A Rocket Movers and Storage, located at 3354 Yellowstone Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Be sure to contact James Woods at 713-545-0658. If you're looking for movers, a place to store your items, or if you need both, our good fellas at A Rocket Movers and Storage can get you a 2-for-1. So head on down there now. That's A Rocket Movers and Storage, and let them know that the Open Mic Broadcast Network sent you. Also, be sure to listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show, dissecting Prairie View athletics and all news and updates surrounding the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And again, you can check out the show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind.
Panthers on top of this, about a score of 10-7 here in this ball game. Now, when we talked about so far how the Panthers have been playing, Mike, we talked about testosterone. We talked about the fact that this is somewhat of a boxing match, if you will, if we're going metaphors. What have you seen so far there in that first quarter in terms of both teams and how they're playing so far?
Well, both teams are playing on edge. Both teams are playing with a sense of urgency. But both teams are going to have to maintain composure. Now, in the case of the Panthers, a couple of penalties, extended some drives, set up some drives. And with the Jags, it's a coaching decision. There's no way you go for it fourth down in the first quarter on your side of the field. There's no way.
Even if it's 4th and 1, head coach Eric Dooley had a little trickery up his sleeve, as they did send the punting unit out on the team, but they went with a fake punt. And mind you, he got just enough for the first down. And again, it was 4th and 1, and he got just enough for a first down to keep this drive open for the Jaguars here with the start of the second quarter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So put that in the data bank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the teams go back out to the field, the sides will be switched, and the ball is going to be placed officially at the 24-yard line of the Panthers. There was a sack on that previous play that took us to the end of the first quarter by the linebacker Jesse Evans, and with a huge stop that the Panthers needed there on first down.
No doubt about it.
So still wait for teams to go back out into the field. This is a TV broadcast game as well, broadcasting on ESPN. But we're broadcasting on Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince, sounding clean, sounding sharp as ever.
But, man,
yes, sir.
You looking good yourself and sounding good yourself, young cat.
Well, I learned from the best. As the teams that make their way back out to the field, Sean McCray and company will now have this one at the 24-yard line of the Panthers. Jaguars moving right to left. And they're going to go with an empty backfield setup. McCray is going to keep it himself. Quarterback keep up the middle. Not a whole lot doing, as he's going to be brought down just right at the 22-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Jaguars. We talked about 3rd down for the Panthers defense. As the ball is placed at the 23-yard line of the Panthers, they have to get to the 5-yard line for a 1st down. Empty backfield setup. McCray back to pass. He has nobody. He looks to his right, throws right. He has a man. That pass is caught inside the 10-yard line. It won't be enough for a 1st down. But he did.
Well, I bet you he goes
one.
for this one. I bet you he goes for this one. If you go for it on 4th in your own territory, you might as well go for it here, right?
Yes, sir. We do have some substitutions coming in. It appears that the field goal unit is coming out onto the field. But watch out for the fake again.
Oh, my goodness.
Came out to the field, but they still went for it, so you never know.
Oh, my goodness. There's me a game we used to play. Get like me.
As we have a stoppage in the play.
I wouldn't be surprised if the exchange unit tell the offense go out there and get it. Because we're talking about 4th and 3.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 3. So the previous play is under further review. So the ruling on the field was that it was a completed pass inside the 10-yard line at the 7-yard line of the Panthers to be exact. But this play will be under review.
Okay, now they're trying to review control and everything that's going on.
Yeah, so he did kind of bob a little bit, but they did rule the catch on the field.
Well, if he gets this, and they give him the completion, I'm going to be very surprised that he sends his kicking unit back out there. I really am, and baffled as well. You know what I mean? That makes no sense.
Sir. Yes, sir. You go for it on 4th and 1, still in your own territory, but now you have the ball inside the 10-yard line of the Panthers. When you talk about making a statement, if you will, what better way to make a statement than to go for it on 4th down inside the Panther territory?
Oh, my.
But it depends. You know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, go ahead, finish, Dre. I was just going to say, so far it's been 7 first downs for Prairie View and 6 for Southern in that first quarter.
Well, but offensively for both teams, they're moving the ball pretty crisp so far here in this ball game. Panthers have had no problem moving the ball on their 2 drives, and so far for the Jaguars, even though they start the ball inside their own 20-yard line, still have had no issues moving the ball offensively. So defensively for the Panthers, they're going to have to try to tighten up here, especially if this play stands and it is a catch. Still 4th down, but just in case that the Jaguars decide to not kick the field goal, they're going to try to tighten things up here when the teams go back out into the field.
No doubt about it. They still say there must be some angles that we're not privileged to get a chance to take a look at this. But your gut feeling, Dre, what is it telling you? Is it going to stay in or is it going to go back?
Well, as I mentioned before, from my eye test up here in the broadcast booth, it appears that he did bobble it a little bit as he was coming down. Looks like he tried to scoop under it at the last minute. As the previous ruling on the play will be overturned. Incomplete pass.
Oh, my. Now we got a longer field goal attempt.
Yes, sir. So now ball will be placed at the 23-yard line.
So it's going to be a 40-yard attempt.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a 40-yard field goal attempt. As the snap is down, kick is up, and it is straight through the uprights with plenty of room to spare. So after that 40-yard field goal attempt, we are all tied at 10 here with 13:43 to go here in the second quarter. You are listening
well,
to
we got something.
Right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I'm just over here hyped up. I'm just hyped up. Yes, sir.
Well, we're all hyped. Panther Nation is hyped. We're all hyped right now. This is a slugfest, if you will. Still a low score, but definitely a slugfest so far here in this ball game. We're going to come back. We're going to have more Panther action right here on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
While we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Teague's Barbecue, and A Rocket Movers and Storage. Thank you for your continued support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com. Or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith in athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
13:43 to go here in the second quarter. We are all tied at 10. We got a solid crowd here at Blackshear Field for this game today, Mike.
That's a good thing to see, and we were concerned because we know Southern travels well, but you didn't want Southern to have a home field away from home by overtaking Panther Stadium. So far, so good.
Well, both teams have traveled well. Panther Nation has showed up here for Prairie View University, and even for Southern, they've definitely traveled well here, and they've showed up and cheering on their team here in this game as well.
Well, it's going to be something to cheer about, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. As the kick is off, and it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line, past the 10, past the 15. He's going to be brought down just right at the 20-yard line. As the freshman running back, Connor Wysham, on the kick return for the Panthers, as they're going to have this one at the 20-yard line when the teams come out to the field. Panthers going to be moving from left to right.
Balanced as he can get. 7 runs, 7 passes.
7 runs, 7 passes. The quarterback, Trajon Conley, trots out to the field, try to lead his Panthers to another touchdown here on this next drive. He's going to have 2 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. He's in the man in motion. He's going to hand this one off, and he's going to be brought down just right at the line of scrimmage. Not a whole lot doing. Ahmad Antoine on the carry for the Panthers. As he was brought down immediately, he'll actually lose a yard on the play. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. Ball now plays at their own 19-yard line. 13:14 to go here in the second quarter. We're all tied at 10 here from Blackshear Field. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Panthers go with an empty backfield setup. Conley drop back to pass. He looks left. He throws left. He has a man on the far side of the field. That's going to be incomplete. The number 18, Christopher Simmons, the intended receiver on the play. And that will bring up 3rd down for the Panthers.
Well, ideally this would be a passing situation, but this could also be a running situation with Connolly's ability to run once lanes created.
And usually on 3rd down, the Panthers like to go with the empty backfield setup. We've seen it so far here in this ball game, and they're going to do just that on 3rd down 11 to be exact. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Conley all about him lonesome in the backfield. He dropped back to pass. He has nobody. He's going to try to take it himself, but he's going to be met immediately for a gain of no yards. And we'll bring up fourth down for the Panthers.
Well, first stoppage of the game.
Monroe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jordan Monroe on the stop for the Jaguars on that play. And we'll bring up fourth down. So the punting units will come out to the field.
I'm needing one of those
Chandler.
magical muffs.
And something that's definitely happened for the Panthers so far here this season. It happened last week against Grambling. A muff punt that the Panthers were able to capitalize on with a touchdown. As we do have a stoppage in the play, as the previous play is under review for potential targeting against the Jaguars.
That's very interesting. A late call on that one, which makes you think that maybe one of the back judges saw something from his vantage point and said, hey, I think we ought to check this out.
Well, in the previous play, it was a quarterback draw by Trayvon Conley. He was met at the line of scrimmage. It was about 2 or 3 Jaguars in on the stop. Weren't able to quite make out who would be the culprit, if you will. There were several white jerseys surrounding Trayvon Conley on that last play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we got 12:21 to go here in the second quarter. We're all tied at 10 as the previous play is officially under review for a potential targeting charge against the Jaguars. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more Panther football right here on the Yoko Mike Broadcast Network.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com. Or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith in athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
So after that previous play, it was targeting charge against the Jaguars. Weren't able to make out the actual number. But it would
that should be a first down
for the Panthers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Automatic first down. Ball now placed at the 34-yard line of the Panthers. Panthers moving left to right. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Conley. And he's going to hand off to the running back in the middle. Gain of about 1 yard on the play. And that was the running back, Jaden Stewart. Jaden Stewart finally gets some action here in this ball game as he takes the carry for the Panthers. Picks up about 1 yard on the play. But check that, make that 2 yards. Ball now placed at the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. As Stewart stays in the game, he's going to be offset to Conley's left. Conley drop back the pass. He's been pressured immediately. He rolls to his right. He has a man. That pass is going to be caught right at the 45-yard line. Ty Holden on the reception for the Panthers. 3 targets and 3 catches by Ty Holden as he picks up another first down for the Panthers.
Yes, sir. Conley is looking good today, man.
He's looking good. Ball now placed at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Play action fake. Conley has a man. That pass is caught. He's hit, but he's bounced off, and he's going to be brought down right at the 40-yard line. Number 17, Collier Ricks, picks up another huge gain for the Panthers and another first down as he was hit immediately when he caught the ball, but he spent off that tackle as he was officially brought down at the 40-yard line of the Jaguars. Panthers moving left to right. Trips to the left for Conley. Another handoff to Jaden Stewart. This time nothing doing as he was met right at the line of scrimmage for a gain of no yards.
Well, Stewart is the type of back. He has to get a few touches before he gets loosened and warmed up. Then he breaks them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And checking in for him will be the veteran running back, Christian Mosley. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Ball plays at the 40-yard line. The receivers to the left and one to the right for Conley. Conley. Got back to pass. He has a man downfield. Nothing doing. As Panther Nation, including myself, was looking for a flag for pass interference. And we see no yellow laundry. So there will be an incomplete pass as Collier Ricks was the intended receiver on the play. He had that huge gain on the previous 2 plays for the Panthers, as he appears to be Conley's favorite target so far here in this ball game, along with Ty Holden. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Panthers. Ball placed at the 40-yard line. Panthers moving left to right. And we have a timeout on the field charge against the Panthers. Their 2nd timeout here so far this half. 10-10 our score with 10:05 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Are you looking for the best barbecue in the state of Texas? Head on down to Teague's Barbecue, located at 3307 Spring Stubner Road in Spring, Texas. And they can be reached at 832-246-8552. That number again is 832-246-8552. Former NFL player Matthew Teague is the founder of Teague's Barbecue, your one-stop shop for all your food and catering needs. They have served the Houston and surrounding areas since 1989. So head on down there now for some delicious sliced brisket, pulled pork, potato salad, and more, and let them know that the Open Mic Broadcast Network sent you. Teague's Barbecue, a taste that will leave you satisfied.
10-10 our score here from Blackshear Field. If you're just now tuning in, we got 10:05 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Both teams are kind of going back and forth, Mike. It's been kind of a boxing match, something we've been talking about so far here in this ball game.
No doubt about it, but it's a boxing match that's been anticipated, and now you can't blink. You can't flinch. You got to go in there and keep executing and make sure you execute off your breaks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. While the team was back out into the field, we were able to get some first quarter stats from that first quarter here in this ball game. We talked about the rushing tag and even the passing tag for the Panthers. In that first quarter, 7 pass attempts that you did mention, Mike, by Trayvon Conley for 52 yards. And, of course, he had that 1 touchdown pass to Jalen Howard in the first quarter. But 52 yards through the air on 7 pass attempts through that first quarter. And we already know that he's attempted several passes here in the 2nd quarter as well.
No doubt about it. And it's been a pleasant, balanced attack. Right now, the Panthers got a break with an unnecessary or targeting penalty, which is a big penalty. It extended a drive for the Panthers, and hopefully they can execute off of this thing, man, and keep them off balance.
Yes, sir. When the teams come back out into the field, it will be 3rd down for the Panthers. Ball plays at the 40-yard line. Panthers moving left to right. 10:05 to go here in the 2nd quarter. We are all tied at 10. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. And this time he's going to be accompanied by the other veteran running back, Bernard Goodwater. As Conley sends a man in motion, as Conley drops back to pass, he's been pressured immediately, but he has a man. That pass will be caught. Will not be enough for a first down. As Ty Holden, the reception for the Panthers, as Conley just had to get rid of that one immediately as he was pressured as soon as he dropped back to pass.
Mm-hmm. Now what do you do if you're Coach Bubba McDowell?
Well, it looks like Bubba McDowell will send the punting unit out onto the field. Ball is placed at the 37-yard line. So it would have been about a 53-yard field goal attempt for Luis Reyes, but the punting unit has come out to the field.
I'm going to play position ball. I'm going to flip the field.
Well, now we have a flag on the play. It's going to be a delay of game, which to give the Panthers a little bit more room to punt this one off.
Nothing wrong with that one at all. I got a quick scoring update for you, Andre. We got a final. Alabama A&M was able to come from behind and beat Grambling State by the score of 37-31. That is a final.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
And if I got time for one more, sir, we're in the fourth quarter with Jackson State in somewhat of a dogfight with Alabama State. Jackson State on top of that one, 17-12.
Thank you, Dr. Mike Prince. As that punt was high, it will sail in the back of the end zone. As the Jaguars will have their next possession at their own 25-yard line. So the Panthers were looking strong on that previous drive. Weren't able to cap off with a touchdown or any points to be exact. But the Panthers were looking pretty strong on that previous drive offensively.
Yeah, they did. Couldn't. And they say you can't win them all, but I want to win every chance I get. But it is what it is, right?
Yes, sir. And check that. I said 25-yard line. It's ball's going to be placed at the 20-yard line. Sean McCray and company will have this possession as he's going to hand this one off up the middle. Nothing doing as he was brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to officially give him 2-yard pickup on the play. So 2nd and 8 for the Jaguars. Ball placed at the 22-yard line. Jaguars moving right to left. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for McCray. And looks like there's going to be movement on the line of scrimmage. It's going to be false start charge against the Jaguars.
Dre, I was just thinking, it seems now that both teams are beginning to settle down, and you're going to start seeing the real makeup of these programs. No doubt about it, adrenaline was high on both sides of the ball. You saw that in the explosiveness. Now it seems like the defenses have caught up with the offenses, and you're going to get a real improved battle right now.
So 2nd down now. Ball plays at the 17-yard line. Handoff to the left side. He's going to get past the 30, brought down just right at the 32-yard line. We do have another flag on the play.
Holding.
This flag came from the back judge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This flag came from the back judge. And it will be a holding penalty charge against the Jaguars. Dr. Mike Prince has his rabbit foot, and he calls that one.
Well, look here, man. I got 4 of them, because the rabbit with only 1 foot, they call him get along. I want the one they call hop along. So give me all 4 of them, baby. I got 1 for each pocket.
Well, whichever one you pulled out on that play, it definitely worked. As this now will back up the Jaguars at their own 8-yard line. They have to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. It will repeat 2nd down, 2nd and long to be exact. Another handoff up the middle. He's going to get past the 10-yard line, brought down just right at the 12-yard line. And number 6, Kendrick Rhymes on the carry for the Jaguars. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Jaguars. Ball placed at the 12-yard line. They have to get to the 30 for a first down. 7:45 to go here in the second quarter. We are all tied at 10. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for McCray. McCray drop back the pass. He has a man. That pass is caught. And he's going to get past the 30, and he will have enough for Jaguars first down.
Man, I was just thinking, no soft zones. You can't play soft like that, especially when you got them hemmed down like that. Don't ease up. Keep that aggression flowing.
Yes, sir. The Panthers defense, they were sagging off on that last play, zone-wise, if you will. And Tyler Kirkland picked up a huge gain for the Jaguars. Another handoff up the middle. He cuts to the left side, and he's going to be brought down past the 40-yard line. Ball is going to be placed at the 43-yard line. An 8-yard pickup on the play. check that 9-yard pickup. 2nd and 1 coming up for the Jaguars. Jaguars pushing the tempo. Another handoff to Sims at the left side. He's going to bounce off one defender. He's going to be brought down past the 45. And he's going to have enough for another Jaguars first down. Clock continues to run here. 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. As the Jaguars are on the move with another first down. Ball's now placed at the 47-yard line. Jaguars moving right to left. Empty backfield for Jaguars. 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for McCray. McCray looks right, and he's going to be pressured, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield for a sack. Number 52, Shaheed Reese, shot out like a cannon, and he was able to bring down McCray in the backfield for a sack.
That's what I needed on that 3rd down soft zone play.
We needed just 2 plays sooner.
That's okay. Keep the momentum going.
So 2nd and 15 now coming up for the Jaguars. Ball placed at the 43-yard line. Great drop back to pass. He's being pressured again, and he's going to be brought down yet again in the backfield. This time it was Keyshawn Johnson.
Yes. Turn up the heat, baby.
The defense is turning up the heat here on this drive. 2 sacks in a row for the Panthers.
Don't go to the soft zone.
So ball's now going to be placed at the 35-yard line of the Jaguars. They have to get to the 43-yard line of the Panthers for a first down. And with that last sack, the clock will continue to run here. 4:55 to go in the second quarter. We are all tied at 10 from Blackshear Field.
And remember, the Jags get the ball after the half because they won the toss and deferred.
Yes, sir. So if you're the Panthers, if you're able to get another score here in this second quarter, definitely critical and definitely much needed, as we do have a timeout on the field, timeout charge against the Jaguars. 10-10 our score here in the second quarter with 4:49 to go. We'll be right back with more Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View A&M University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The hill is where the heart is.
4:49 to go here in the second quarter. We are all tied at 10 from Blackshear Field. As the teams come back out into the field, it's going to be 3rd and 23 for the Jaguars. Ball placed at their own 35-yard line. They have to get to the 43-yard line of the Panthers for a first down. McCray's going to have 2 receivers to his right and 2 to the left. Panthers going with his own defense. As McCray drop back to pass, he has a little bit of time. He finally steps into the pocket. He's just going to take it himself. He shares a few defenders past the 40, and he's going to be brought down just right at the 43-yard line. Not enough for a first down. As the punting units will come out to the field. Coach Eric Dooley will not go for it on 4th down this time.
No, not that. That's a bit too long. And once again, it speaks of the importance of this game. But hopefully the Panthers, with some timeouts and a little bit of time, can maneuver and work back and get some points.
Well, we talked about how important this ball game is. We talked about the magnitude of this ball game. Again, this is not only a Southwestern Athletic Conference matchup. This is a Western Division matchup, to be exact, between the Panthers and the Jaguars. As this punt is off, and it's going to be fair catch by Xavier Johnson right at their own 21-yard line. So the Panther defense were able to hold on that play. 2 critical sacks in a row, one by Shaheed Reese and the other by Keyshawn Johnson. And the Panthers offense will have this one at their own 21-yard line.
Yes, sir. So it's come out, mix and match. It's been a balanced attack, 12 passes versus 11 runs thus far by the Panthers. And believe it or not, Dre, I'd start this one off with a run or my infamous swing pass.
Yes, sir. They still have not done your infamous swing pass yet. It either comes late in the first half or early in the second half.
And watch this one. Watch this one. Watch out for the double pass to Herring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can definitely be looking for that one as well. And you talked about running for the Panthers. I wouldn't mind seeing a run play here on this drive as well. We talked about Ahmad Antoine and how great he's been for the Panthers on the ground so far this season. In that first quarter, he had 4 carries for 35 yards, averaging about 8.8 yards per carry. So if you're the Panthers, you definitely got a guy. Well, you got several guys that can get the job done, but specifically given the fact that you need to try to add some points here late in the second quarter, since your defense is going to come back out to the field at the start of the third quarter, I would go with a run, and I would go with Ahmad Antoine here to start this drive.
Okay.
To kind of try to put your foot on the gas a little bit.
Yeah, well, to the left or the right, sir?
Either way, Ahmad Antoine can go to the left. He can go to the right. He can go up the middle. That in the first quarter, he went up the middle and then he bounced to the left side. Ahmad Antoine has a bit of a looseness to him. He can run in between the guard and the tackles, but he can bounce to the outside and use his speed if necessary. Kind of your overall complete back, if you will. He can also catch the ball out of the backfield, too. We've seen him do that so far here this season as well. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, your overall complete back for the Panthers.
Well, I know 2 of those big guys lined up for the Panthers today, Tyler and Kobe, have been fired up to go against their old teammate Dumas. And they said, run it behind me, boss. I'm ready.
And speaking of their own teammate, Jason Dumas, nothing from him so far here in this ball game. But again, this is a defensive lineman that can wreak havoc on your offensive line and on your offense at any given time. So if you're the Panthers offense, you've been doing exceptionally well with containing Jason Dumas. We're going to see if they can keep that up here to start this next drive here late in the second quarter. As the teams come back out to the field, yes, sir. Ball plays at the 21-yard line. Collins is going to have 3 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. And they're going to go to the run to Ahmad Antoine. Past the 30, past the 35. He's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line for a huge, huge gain in the first down for the Panthers. Right on cue, Ahmad Antoine with a huge run there on first down. Ball now plays at the 40-yard line.
Yes, sir.
To the left and 1 to the right. They're going to hand off to Ahmad Antoine yet again. This time, nothing doing. Picks up about 1 yard on the play.
That should be enough for the first down.
Well, he gained 1 yard on that play. It was first down due to his
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No worries. He picks up 1 yard on that play, so it's going to bring us 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Clock does continue to run here. 3:05 to go here late in the second quarter. We are all tied at 10. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. And it looks like the ball is fumbled on the snap. Jason Collins was able to get on it just in the nick of time. Panthers catch a break on that play.
Good thing I was holding on to my rabbit's foot then, man.
So due to that fumble that will back the Panthers up, the ball now is going to be placed at their own 36-yard line. They have to get to the 50-yard line for a first down.
No need to worry.
Collins is going to have 2 receivers to his left and 2 to the right. Jaden Stewart checks in for Ahmad Antoine. As a running back, he's going to be offset to Conley's left. Conley, drop back the pass. He steps up to the pocket, doesn't have a man downfield. He takes it himself. He shed a few defenders. He has a bit of day run, past the 50, past the 45, brought down right at the 43-yard line. It's going to be another first down for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Seth, once again, a good boxer. You jab, 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 and when you're not looking, hit it with the overhand right. Bam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So they hit with the jab, and the open hand right. But it looks like they got caught with a left hand as there's going to be a false start charge against the Panthers.
That's okay. That's the adrenaline going. The
Panthers
and I can
were
tell
kicking and moving, but they got caught on that play.
Yeah, that was a low blow. That's what they call a low blow.
Well, we don't want. Yeah, yes, sir. Definitely a low blow. We talked about penalties coming into this ball game. 5-yard penalty will back the Panthers up at the 49-yard line of the Jaguars. 1st and 15. A handoff to Jaden Stewart. He breaks a few tackles past the 45, brought down just right at the 43-yard line. So Jaden Stewart gets those 5 yards back and then some. Gain of about 7 on the play. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Panthers. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Conley looks right, throws right. He has Jaden Stewart. That pass is caught past the 30. And he's going to be brought down right at the 25-yard line. Another huge gain for the Panthers and another 1st down for the Panthers.
Yes, indeed. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Fire drill.
Yes, sir. So the freshman running back, Connor Wysham, checks in the game for Jaden Stewart. And a handoff to Wysham, and he's going to pick up a solid positive yards for the Panthers, 3 yards to be exact. And we talked about the switch out of the running backs for the Panthers. You got Jaden Stewart, you got Ahmad Antoine, you got this freshman running back, Connor Wysham, not to mention Christian Mosley and Bernard Goodwater. So being able to keep those running backs fresh when you got 5 that you can switch in and out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So ball's now plays at the 23-yard line of the Jaguars. 2nd and 8. Conley drop back to pass. He has a man on the far side of the field, and that pass is going to be incomplete as he was looking for number 10, Trajan Spiller, on the far side of the field. Just needed a little bit more mustard on that one as that pass came up a little bit short on that play. So the incompletion is going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Panthers. Ball plays at the 23-yard line. Panthers moving left to right. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for Conley. Connor Wysham is going to be offset to Conley's right. Conley drop back to pass. He's being pressured immediately. He has a man, but that pass is going to be incomplete as the Jaguars brought the house on that play as Conley had to get rid of it. And that pass will be incomplete.
Well, you know what, Andre? That was a big senior move by Conley. You're already in field goal position. Right now, it'd be about a 40-yard field goal attempt. You can't afford to take a sack. He has the awareness to, A, step out of the pocket, and then, B, get rid of the ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, to your point, field goal units have come out to the field. 41-yard field goal attempt by Luis Reyes. As the snap is down, kick is up, and it is good with plenty of real estate. So the Panthers will extend the lead, will take the lead, rather, here late in the second quarter, 13-10 our score with 21 seconds to go, Mike.
Well, you know what? Reyes' song might have to be an old OJ song that I know that was before your time, but your mother and father would appreciate this. And it goes, money, 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 hey. Money. Right. That's what Ray has.
Well, I definitely know about that one because that was such a popular song by the OJs back in the day. So even a guy like me who was born in the 90s still know about that song. And Chick-Ching,
he's a 90s baby.
Yes, sir. Well, speaking of money, Chick-Ching by Luis Reyes, 41-yard field goal attempt. This is a kicker who has shown that he has a leg on him, who has made several field goals for the Panthers in critical situations so far here in the 2022 season. And he comes up big with that 41-yard field goal attempt to extend the lead 13-10 here late in the second quarter.
Dare I say it, Dre? Dare I say it? Dare I say it? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But when you got somebody like that on your side, why not use him?
Yes,
why
sir.
not use
yes,
him?
sir. Yes, sir. Well, we're going to take a quick break and come back with more Panther football as the Panthers are trying to swing the momentum in their favor. They're up 13-10 here in this ball game with 21 seconds to go here late in the second quarter. You are listening to Panther football right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Be sure to listen to us live during our next broadcast coverage of Panther football on Saturday, October 22nd, as the Panthers will hit the road to take on Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Kickoff of that game is scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m., and we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't make it to the game, You can catch the play-by-play coverage live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network by dialing 857-777-0000. And again, it's only on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics. Today's game is brought to you by A-Rocket Movers and Storage, located at 3354 Yellowstone Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Be sure to contact James Woods at 713-545-0658. If you're looking for movers, a place to store your items, or if you need both, our good fellas at A-Rocket Movers and Storage can get you a 2-for-1. So head on down there now. That's A-Rocket Movers and Storage, and let them know that the Open Mic Broadcast Network sent you. Also, be sure to listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show, dissecting Prairie View athletics and all news and updates surrounding the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And again, you can check out the show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind.
21 seconds ago here late in the second quarter, Panthers on top of this one by a score of 13-10. That last kickoff was sailed in the back of the end zone as the Jaguars are going to start this next drive with 21 seconds to go. Now, if you're Eric Dooley, Mike, you got 21 seconds to go, ball placed at your own 25-yard line. Do they take a shot or do they just kneel and get the ball to start the third quarter?
Well, normally you would take a knee and get on out of there and regroup. You get the ball at the second half. You're deep in your territory. You don't want to give any momentum to anybody. But we are talking about Coach Dooley went for it on fourth down in his own territory in the first quarter. So I don't know what's going to happen, Dre.
Well, to your point, Mike, Sean McCray will hand this one off up the middle. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on the play. But that run will continue to move the clock as they're going to have 5 seconds to go. They may not have enough time to get a playoff here. As they're going to snap this one off right in the nick of time. As McCray is going to attempt to pass, he's going to roll to his left side, and he's just going to have to throw this one away as he was pressured. And with that last play, our first half has come to an end. 13-10 our score here in favor of the Panthers. Panthers looking strong here so far in this first half. And when we return, the Jaguars will have the ball to start the third quarter, Mike.
Absolutely, Andre. Job well done as always, young man. The Panthers taking a 13-10 lead in this first half of play. It's been a very emotional roller coaster ride, up and down, in and out. We'll get you up to speed on that and scores around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We'll take a break, and we come back. We'll get you the scores going on around the SWAC. Take another break perhaps after that, and then get ready for some stats and halftime assessment. You're listening to Panthers football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Keep it right where you got it, and we'll be right back.
While we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Teague's Barbecue, and A-Rocket Movers and Storage. Thank you for your continued support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View A&M University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Halftime here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Prairie View on top of the Southern Jaguars by the score of 13-10. Panthers answered with the opening drive of a field goal, responded to by the Jags with a touchdown, and the Panthers followed up with a touchdown on their own, exchange of 2 field goals, and that's where we are right now. Off the leg of Reyes, the Panthers take a 13-10 lead at the half. This game was everything that we've anticipated, somewhat on the plus and the minus side, some penalties, and you figure that to be with the emotions and everything that were coming with this game. But the Panthers on top right now by the score of 13-10. We'll give you some other scores as this first half and this halftime report is being brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club. Founded by George Higgs in 1986, been providing service for student athletes since 1986. No matter what sport it is, Prairie View has 18 sports, and Prairie View Athletic Club has been there through thick and thin. You could be a part of the Prairie View Athletic Club by getting in contact with All-American lineman Greg Austin at 936-857-5817. That number again, 936-857-5817. Panthers with a 13-10 lead at halftime. Other scores around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The Texas Southern Tigers are in the winner's circle as they were victorious over the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff by the score of 24-17. So the Tigers go to Arkansas and come back with the win. Jackson State taking care of their opponent right now, Alabama State. That score is 26-12 with just a little bit under a minute and a half remaining in that contest, a minute 13 to be exact. Bethune-Cookman, they are playing against Tennessee State, and right now Bethune-Cookman has a 3-0 lead in the first quarter of that contest. Have some more games scheduled for you. Arkansas Alcorn will be taking on Mississippi Valley. That will be a 6 p.m. kickoff. And then you have Florida A&M meeting up with South Carolina, and Florida A&M was able to win that one by the score of 20-14 is the final with that one. So Coach Willie Simmons getting the Rattlers back in the groove and the swing of things. And our earlier game saw that Alabama A&M were victorious over the Grambling State Tigers by the score of 37-31. The G-men have yet to earn that G on their helmets just yet. And might I add, that game took 2 overtimes to get accomplished. So the G-men still struggling with their woes as Alabama A&M wins 2 games in a row. So we're at halftime right now, 13-10 is our score. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll be joined with Mr. Andre Davis and hopefully some stats that we can go ahead and kind of walk through this first half of play. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
Don't forget, you can join the Temple of Refuge Ministries each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Dial 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom, one soul at a time. We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage, but stay tuned, and we'll be sure to return with more action of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, who's been serving student athletes since 1986. And for more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817. Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View A&M University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Halftime here. Okay, a little mix up there. It's all right. Halftime here as the Prairie View Athletic Club is responsible for our halftime show right here, serving student athletes since 1986. Be a part of the movement that's making things happen on the Hill. The Prairie View Athletic Club, 936-857-5817. Panthers with a lead, a slight lead, but a lead it is. And this has not been the problems with the Panthers. It's how they finish. Coach Bubba McDowell has stressed that they got to execute on finishing with a bang. It'll be very interesting to see how both the Panthers and the Jaguars respond with their first half adjustments. Jags will be getting the ball to start that second half off, and it's going to be very critical, at least in my opinion, that first possession of both squads in the second half of play. We're now going to be joined by Mr. Andre Davis. Andre, are you there, my man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here, Mike. I am here.
Okay. Okay. How you feeling? Man?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Panthers looking strong. To your point, starting off strong is something that the Panthers have done so far this season. We've had no issues with how the Panthers start a ball game. However, their second half of play is going to be critical, especially here in this game against the Southern Jaguars. And we talked about the penalties, especially for the Panthers, at least coming to this ball game. We do have some halftime stats here that we can kind of run through. Not nothing to really harp on, especially for the Panthers in terms of penalties. Only 2 penalties in that first half for a total of 20 yards. However, for the Jaguars, 6 penalties for 48 yards, and we know there were a couple of costly penalties for the Jaguars, some personal foul calls against them that the Panthers were able to capitalize on. But so far here in this ball game, penalties have been an issue for the Jaguars, and even for the passing, Mike. When we talked about the passing trades on Conley, I was wondering what he was going to have so far in that first half. He's went 9 for 15 for 96 yards, and, of course, that one touchdown pass he had in the first half, in the first quarter to be exact, to Jalen Howard. But 96 yards passing, 15 pass attempts, and 9 of those have been completed here so far in the first half.
Yes, sir. 15 pass attempts along with 17 rushing attempts. You can't get any more balanced than that. I'm not surprised that the Panthers are leading with rushing attempts over passing attempts, but it's the amount of passes, as you alluded to, and the efficiency of the passing that Conley has been able to produce. Now, this is something that as a daily talk show host for Panther Nation and for a SWAC conference, as the leadership of Eric Dooley, he did an excellent job. Know one of the best recruiters that you'll ever come across. Know how to find talent. But one of the greatest concerns, at least for me, was the penalty issues that kept you out of close games. And right now, as you mentioned, I believe you said, 6 penalties or 8 penalties, 6 penalties for 68 yards. That's been a difference so far.
Yes, sir. 6 penalties for 48 yards for the Southern.
Yes, sir. And that has been the difference thus far in this game. We talked about the culture change, what Coach Bubba McDowell was bringing to the table. And Coach McDowell, with that change, now has gotten, 2 penalties. We still got another half to play, but we got to make sure you keep your foot on the pedal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one of the things I want to point out here, Mike, that's just jumping off this stat sheet for me, I have to point this out. We talk about the rushing attack of the Panthers and how exceptionally they've done so far this season. And then, of course, in that first half, still continuing on what they've done so far. Now, they've had 4 running backs, including with 3 running backs and then Trayvon Conley, they were able to get rushing yards in that first half. Of course, Ahmad Antoine has 50. He's leading the way so far for the Panthers on the ground with 55 rushing yards on 7 carries for the Panthers. But collectively, in that first half, 116 yards rushing in that first half between Ahmad Antoine, Trayvon Conley, Connor Wysham, and Jaden Stewart. When you have multiple guys that can get the ball done, I cannot stress this out enough because the Panthers have multiple guys that can get the ball done on the ground. And that just goes to show you that it doesn't always have to be one person gaining 100-plus yards on the ground, but if I can get 5 guys, and collectively as a team, we can rush for over 200 yards on the ground per game, all that's just going to do is tire the defense out because while you're getting tired on defense, I got one guy I can switch in and out. I got another guy I can bring in, and then I got another guy on top of that. And not to mention, I got a quarterback that can break through the middle if he needs to.
No doubt about it. And you effectively said something. You're rotating guys. And the longer this game goes on, the more difficult it becomes for the D linemen in particular to keep their concentration. You got fresh legs coming in, and it seems like the next guy's running a little bit harder than the last guy, and that wears on you, and you're going in an up-tempo pace. And right now, the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You got a strong kicking game. Special teams has been leading the charge from game 1. Defense has really and truly been holding their own. And we're starting to see, it took us to get to week 6, but we're starting to see that offense come together collectively as one unit. And if it takes running back by committee, then so be it. I'd rather have that running back by committee with victories than a stud in losses. You got what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But more importantly, we're starting to see a more balanced attack by Prairie View's offense coming into week 6 of play, Mike. And we talked about the fact that all season long there's been run for the Panthers. And, of course, there was some criticism in terms of the Panthers are able to throw the ball. If they can throw the ball, can they do that successfully and can they do that exceptionally well? Well, of course, Trayvon Conley is so far, again, we still got 2 quarters of play, but so far he has answered the call on the ground and through the air for the Panthers. Again, 96 yards passing through the air, and he also has 42 yards rushing on the ground for the Panthers in that first half. And more importantly, Mike, if I can just let the people know that Trayvon Conley is not only throwing the ball, but he looks comfortable in that backfield. And it doesn't change the fact that he's taking off 1,001, 1,002, but that just shows that he already has in his mind what he plans on doing if he doesn't see an open man down the field. He's not rushing anything, and he's not forcing any passes as well. That's one of the things I've noticed about Trayvon Conley coming into week 6. If it's not there, if he can't make it accurately, he's just going to take off running and get what he can get, and he's doing that so far here in this ball game.
Yes, sir, indeed he is. And are you a Batman fan?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm
well,
I'm more of a Marvel fan, but I dabble in the DC characters as well.
Okay, well, Batman is the ultimate crime fighter. I don't care what no one says. But when I spoke with Mark Frederick, the offensive coordinator for the Panthers, and I said, well, what do you and how do you respond to the people who say Prairie View can only run the ball, they can't throw the ball? And he gave me this big old Joker smile. And you know there's a famous line that said, wait till they get a load of me. He says, wait until you see how we flip the script, Mike. He said, that's all I can say. And he has been a man of his word. They have really kept Southern off balance thus far. And the proof of that was when you go for it on 4th down, and I don't care if it's a half a yard, 2 yards, but 1 yard on your side of the ball in the first quarter. That shows me that there's concerns on that side of the field that we can't stop these guys like we'll need to, so let me take advantage of every opportunity. And it didn't, well, it worked out, but it didn't work out in the long stack of things. But, man, you just got to like what you're seeing from the Panthers right now.
Well, when we're talking about the success of the Panthers offense, both through the air and on the ground, through at least 6 weeks of play, and specifically here in this ball game against Southern, we cannot forget about the offensive linemen, and we cannot not give credit to the offensive linemen here in this ball game, but just so far this season, how exceptionally they've played so far. And I say that because, again, Trayvon Conley, he looks comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't, he's not always pressured. Again, he takes off running, but it's not necessarily meaning that he's pressured. It's because when he sees a lane, he's just going to go ahead and go for it. He's not going to wait. He's not going to take his time. When he sees a lane, he's gone. But the offensive line has protected Conley exceptionally well this season. We don't have an official stat in front of us right now, but not a whole lot of sacks for Trayvon Conley coming into week 6 of play. And you can credit that to the offensive line, the success from all the running backs that they've had so far this season. You credit that to the offensive line and just how well those guys have played so far this season.
No doubt about it. We knew the anticipation of this game coming up. We knew that adrenaline would be flying high, testosterone flying high. It seems that both teams have settled down on both sides of the ball, and now it's just a matter of who has the will to see it all the way through. The Panthers will get a chance to make a statement on that first series with the defense. Let that defense set the tempo, set up the offense, hopefully for a short field and a quick score. But whatever you do, you cannot let the Jaguars get any sniffing of that goal line. I don't care if it's a field goal. I don't care if it's a touchdown. You cannot afford to let them score, especially on this first possession.
Well, we definitely know that Panther Nation is not worried because that defense has played with some swagger, especially in the end of that second quarter. Teams were kind of rough a little bit in that first quarter, but again, this is an emotional game. Teams are trying to fill things out, both offensively and defensively. The Panthers kind of gave up a few big plays defensively in that first quarter, but in that second quarter, we start to see them kind of slow things down, kind of get more settled into the game. You mentioned that during the broadcast. They kind of got settled into the game, and it showed, especially in that second quarter, 2 big sacks in that second quarter that kind of changed the momentum a little bit in this ball game by Shaheed Reese, and then even the other linebacker, Keyshawn Johnson, kind of putting a statement, if you will, defensively and letting Southern know that, hey, we can play with some swagger just like you. If not, better than you.
Now, I am offended, Andre. Now, you've been calling off the big guys, and you forgot to call T-Roy.
You're right, T-Roy. Not to be mistaken by Leroy, but T-Roy James.
Yes, T-Roy,
yes,
making a statement.
Yes, sir. T-Roy, and for those of you that are just now tuned in and was not able to catch the first half of the game, we're referring to the defensive lineman, T-Roy James, who normally has been going by Troy James. Coming into this ball game, we were informed before kickoff that he would like to go by T-Roy James. So if you hear T-Roy James, that's who we're referring to, number 8 to be exact, and he also came up big for the Panthers defense in that first half as well.
No doubt. He got a sack involved in that too, man. So we got to give those big guys credit. And this is where the game is really going to be won, Andre. And I stress it all the time, whether it's on the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball, those guys up front, they are what makes it happen. And so far, I have to give that slight edge to Prairie View. They got over 100 yards rushing in the first quarter. They're executing and putting pressure for sacks. And the only thing that's missing right now is a turnover. The Panthers have yet to create a turnover. But I got these 4 rabbits fit, Dre. And I feel the mojo coming on, man. So don't be surprised if we get a turnover or 2 in the second half.
Well, we still got 2 quarters to do it. And there's something, and the Panthers have also been able to get turnovers so far this season. They're currently ranked 2nd in the Southwestern Athletic Conference in terms of team takeaways. So the Panthers have no issues with getting turnovers. They definitely have the guys on that side of the ball that can get the job done in terms of takeaways, and that's by way of interception, fumbles, whatever the case may be. They definitely got the guys on that side of the ball that can get the job done. And when you talked about the rushing attack for the Panthers offense, Mike, I can't stress it enough. You mentioned over 100 yards rushing in that first half, but it's not just the 100 yards. It's how they're getting the 100 yards. And, again, I don't care who you have on the defensive side of the ball. When you can bring in 5 fresh legs at a time, there's only so much you can do to stop that. You can have Ray Lewis on that side of the ball. It does not matter. You got 5 fresh legs. There's only so much you can do.
Well, look, no, bring it in, son. Bring it in. I don't know about no Ray Lewis now, but a Division I FCS.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, if you got it don't matter who you got, because when you got 5, and then you mentioned that each running back is coming in and how exposed they are. Each running back, no matter if it's Connor Washam, Jaden Stewart, Amon Antoine, Bernard Goodwater, Christian Mosley, anytime they come in, when they get the ball, they're getting it with some explosiveness. Why? Because they had time to kind of regroup, catch their breath, and now while the defense is bent over, they're exploding through the hole. And that's why Amon Antoine was able to have that big game on that last drive in the second half to kind of help drive the ball downfield, but the Panthers were able to put 3 more points on the board late in that second quarter.
No doubt about it. You're listening to the halftime report of the Prairie View A&M football broadcast here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, presented to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club. Panthers on top right now by the score of 13-10. Dre, we're going to take us a quick break, but before we do, I want to remind the folks, we'll have a bye this week or next week coming up, but our next broadcast will be October 22nd from Beaumont, Texas, as the Panthers will take on the Lamar Cardinals. You are listening to the Panthers football broadcast at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Be sure to listen to us live during our next broadcast coverage of Panther football on Saturday, October 22nd, as the Panthers will hit the road to take on Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Kickoff of that game is scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m., and we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch the play-by-play coverage live right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network by dialing 857-777-0000. And again, it's only on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
And welcome back to Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. The kickoff return was fielded by the Jaguars, and they was able to get this one at their own 23-yard line, and that's where the Jaguars will set up shop, moving from right to left. However, we do have a timeout on the field charged against the Jaguars. They took an early timeout here to start the third quarter as they find themselves trailing this one by the score of 13-10.
Well, that right there tells me, Andre, there's confusion. And we talked about the boxing metaphor, correct? And you got a boxer who they say he's out on his feet. You know, you're not aware of what's going on. You just came out of halftime. Why you need to call a timeout right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, nonetheless, the teams that come back out into the field, Sean McCurry and company will have this one at the 23-yard line, but from right to left. And the play action fake by the Jaguars, he's going to throw it to the far right side of the field, and that pass will be caught near the 45-yard line. It's going to be enough for a Jaguars first down. Huge play there on first down by the Jaguars. A throw by Sean McCurry, and they're going to have first and 10. Ball now placed at their own 44-yard line, moving right to left. McCray, drop back to pass. He has a man in the middle of the field, and that pass is caught inside Panther territory. He's still on his feet, and he's finally going to be brought down past the 30-yard line. They're going to officially mark this one at the 29-yard line of the Panthers. So 2 big plays in a row by the Jaguars, 2 first downs, as they make their way in Panther territory. Ball placed at the 29-yard line. And he's going to throw it to the right side. This time, this one is broken up by the Panthers, incomplete. We can credit that pass breakup to number 11, Kevin Victorian, the defensive lineman. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars. 13:54 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers on top, 13-10. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for McCray. McCray. Back to pass. He steps up into the pocket. He rolls to his right side, still looking for a man. He's just going to take this one himself and runs out of bounds past the 25-yard line. That's going to officially mark this one at the 23. About a 6-yard pickup there by Sean McCray. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Jaguars. Another third down opportunity. Their first third down here on this opening drive here in the third quarter. So a big third down here for both squads. The ball now plays at the 23-yard line of the Panthers. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Okay, drop back to pass. He has a little bit of time. He's hit as he throws, and he's going to throw this one in the back of the end zone. And it's going to be a touchdown, Jaguars. No flag shown as McCray was hit immediately as he threw it. But he was able to get this one off to number 85, Chandler Whitfield, in the back of the end zone. Not bad coverage on that play. He was covered by Jamias Presley, with just a better throw by Bishawn McCray. As the Jaguars go on top of this one, 16-13, with the PAT to follow.
Well, McCray showed his strength on that particular play, being able to make that pass while being hit. And just what we were talking about at the halftime report, you didn't want the Jags to come out and do anything but as effectively and fast as they were able to come out in this second half of play.
Well, we don't have the official stat in front of us, but I counted 4 plays on that drive for the Jaguars to cap off with a touchdown to go up 16-13. 2 big plays on first down, and there was another play, and then that final play by Bishawn McCray to Whitfield for a touchdown. As the snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So 17-13 our score in favor of the Jaguars. Jaguars answer early there on that opening drive to put themselves up 17-13 here early in the third quarter with 13:07 to go. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by A-Rocket Movers and Storage, located at 3354 Yellowstone Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Be sure to contact James Woods at 713-545-0658. If you're looking for movers, a place to store your items, or if you need both, our good fellas at A-Rocket Movers and Storage can get you a 2-for-1. So head on down there now. That's A-Rocket Movers and Storage, and let them know that the Upper Mike Broadcast Network sent you. Also, be sure to listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mike Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show, dissecting Prairie View athletics and all news and updates surrounding the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And again, you can check out the show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind.
Still plenty of time to go here early in the third quarter, 13:07 to be exact. The Jaguars on top of this one by a score of 17-13. Jaguars answer on that previous drive easily, if you will. The Panthers still kind of going with that zone defense, but still kind of sagging off, if you will. We want to see if they're going to try to tighten things up there on defense, kind of bring the guys down just a little bit close, because the Jaguars are kind of just standing right in the middle, kind of just finding a sweet spot within the zone, and they did that on that previous drive.
Yeah, we got to counter, though. Got to counter. No pressure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But nonetheless, we still got plenty of time. And when the teams come back out onto the field, we'll see if the Panthers can answer the call here in this next drive, on their opening drive of the third quarter, to be exact. Now, if you're the Panthers...
Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead.
Well, no, so I was going to ask you, Mike, if you're the Panthers, you're down 13-17, still plenty of time to go. You get the ball to start your opening drive in the third quarter. How do you respond to what the Jaguars did on first down? How do you respond on first down for the Panthers?
You just keep doing what you've been doing. You got a good balanced attack coming going right now. I would not be surprised that pass, but right now I would go with the run to open up this first series on my second half.
Well, speaking of going with the run, as the kicking teams that come out into the field, 2 running backs back to receive this for the Panthers. Number 7, Christian Mosley, and he's accompanied by the freshman running back, Connor Wysham.
That's a good combination.
Good combination. This one's going to be fielded by Christian Mosley. He's going to get past the 10, past the 20, and he's going to be brought down just right at the 24-yard line. So a 24-yard kickoff return by Christian Mosley. And that's where the Panthers will set up shop here to start their opening drive here in the third quarter.
Yes, sir. Now, I'm going to look for the run, and I'm going to look and see where number 1 is lined up, and I'm going to see how he was able to recover from that first half.
And by number 1, you're referring to number 1 on the opposite end, Jason Dumas, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Jason Dumas is going to be lined up in front of the right guard for the Panthers. As
Mr. Lewis
Conley is going to drop back the pass. He has a man downfield, but that pass is going to be incomplete. Solid coverage there by the Jaguars as he was looking for number 17, Collier Ricks. A guy he was able to hit in that first half with no issues, as Ricks had 4 catches for 30 yards in that first half. Wasn't able to hook up with him on that play, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Ball placed at their own 23-yard line. And Tom Collins is going to hand this one off up the middle, but nothing doing. As that was the running back, Ahmad Antoine, on the carry for the Panthers. And getting up at the bottom of that pile, right on cue, number 1, Jason Dumas. So not a whole lot to speak of by Jason Dumas in that first half. But he comes up big for the Jaguars on that last play as he gets up at the bottom of that pile. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. Ball placed at their own 23-yard line. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Conley, drop back the pass. He steps up into the pocket, but he's going to be met in the backfield for a sack. And that was number 92, Kelby Gibbons, on the sack for the Jaguars. And that will bring up 4th and long as the punting units trot out onto the field.
Now, what you got to do if you're the Panthers, you got to keep composure. Don't panic. You didn't do anything on your first drive, so now you got to tell defense to win us back to field position and give us another chance. So now the defense is going to have to pick up the offense.
As the Panthers will be punting this one from left to right, as this punt is off, and he's going to field this one at his 30-yard line. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, still on his feet, and he breaks another tackle. He's still alive, past the 30, past the 35, and he finally goes out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So
I'm looking for the flag.
Return there.
I was looking for the flag, Dre.
Yes, sir. That was a solid punt return by Robert Rim for the Jaguars, as he broke at least 4. I counted at least 4 missed tackles on that last play, and the Jaguars will have excellent field position. Ball placed at their own 40-yard line. Jaguars moving right to left. 11:19 to go here in the third quarter. Jaguars on top of this one, 17-13. McCray hands this one off up the middle, and he's going to be met right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. Keyshawn Johnson on the stop for the Panthers, and he's actually going to lose a yard on the play. Solid play there by Keyshawn Johnson, as he's actually going to lose 2 yards on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars. Ball plays at their own 38-yard line. McCray's going to have 3 receivers to his right as he's barking at the line of scrimmage. McCray, drop back the pass. He looks right, throws right. He has a man. That pass is incomplete as he was hit immediately, and that ball just pops out. Number 3, Logan Jackson, on that huge play for the Panthers.
Yes, sir. Logan Jackson, LJ, laying the wood.
Laying the wood on that play. That's going to bring up 3rd and 12, another huge 3rd down for the Panthers.
Now, on 3rd and long, the Panthers have been choosing to go soft zone. Let's see if Todd Middleton, defense coordinator, has made any adjustments at the half.
Well, the Panthers are still kind of going with the soft zone, as the DBs are kind of lined up about 9 yards off the receivers. That's McCray. Drive back the pass, looks left, throws left. That pass is going to be incomplete. And number 25, Gerald Smith, the other cornerback on the other side on the coverage for the Panthers, That will bring up fourth down.
All right, this is what the Panthers needed right now. You're going to be in position, even though they had good field position off the punt return. They'll get the ball back, and now your offense should be settled down. And, Dre, don't be surprised if we get one of those swing passes in this series.
It should be coming right on cue. Usually the Panthers don't do it in the first half. Usually the third quarter is when they attempt that swing pass. As this punt is off, and Xavier Johnson's just going to wave this one away. He's just going to smartly get away from it, and it will take a very, very good Jaguar bounce inside the 5-yard line. So the Panthers will have a tall task to order. This ball will officially be spotted at the 5-yard line, and they're going to have to travel 95 yards to get to Pater. If we got 10-19 to go here.
We can make it happen.
Well,
we don't have to get it all in one motion. We don't have to get it all in one motion.
You just got to get it piece by piece. Piece by piece. That's all you have to do. Yes, sir. Well, we got 10-19 to go here in the third quarter. Jaguars on top of this one, 17-13. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com, or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all of the exciting things we have coming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith in athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back to Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. 10-19 to go here in the third quarter. Jaguars on top of this one, 17-13. As Trayvon Conley and company trots back out into the field, they're going to have this next possession, their second possession here in the third quarter at their own 5-yard line. This will be a 95-yard drive if the Panthers can answer the call. Conley's going to have two receivers to his right and one to the left. Jaden Stewart will be the running back to start this drive for the Panthers. He's going to be offset to Conley's left. A handoff to Jaden Stewart. He's going to get past the 5-yard line. Gains about 2 yards on the play. As Jaden Stewart on the carry for the Panthers. 2-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Ball placed at their own 7-yard line. As Conley looks to the sideline to get the call. Yes, sir.
Play action, play action, play action.
Do you run the play action near your own goal line? That would be interesting.
Yeah. That's why, because they anticipate and run. Play action.
Oh, we do it. The ball's on the ground. And Conley was able to pick this one up and throw it out of bounds immediately as he was being chased by Jason Dumas. And he was able to get rid of it just in the nick of time. There was a fumble in that previous first half that Conley was able to get on. Similar on that last play, as the center is going to have to get the snap up. And they're going to lose it down due to that fumble. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. Ball placed at their own 7-yard line. Panthers moving left to right. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. Conley, back to pass. He looks right, throws right immediately, and he has a man. That pass is going to be caught near the first down marker, and that was number 17, Collier Ricks, one of his favorite targets so far here in this ball game, and he will have enough for a Panthers first down.
There you go.
Collier Ricks coming up big for the Panthers so far here in this ball game. Some critical catches, especially on third down. And they're going to have 1st and 10. Ball placed at their own 17-yard line. Another quick pass by Conley to the right side. And that's going to be complete. And he's going to be met right at the 20-yard line. Number 4, Xavier Johnson on the reception for the Panthers. 2-yard pickup on the play.
It beats a 2-yard minus.
2-yard plus is better than 2-yard minus.
Yes, sir.
He was able to stay in bounds on that last reception, so the clock will continue to run. 8:25 to go here in the third quarter. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. He sends a man in motion. Another handoff up the middle. Once again, Ahmad Antoine on the carry for the Panthers. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. A tough 3 yards, if you will, as he was met at the line of scrimmage, but he kept his legs moving for a tough 3 yards on that play for the Panthers. So
another manageable third down. Yes, a manageable third down, yes, so keep it moving.
Manageable third down. Ball placed at their own 23-yard line. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Conley, drop back to pass. He's hit immediately as he throws, and that pass is incomplete. As he was looking for his favorite third down target, Collier Ricks, but he was hit immediately as he threw it. That pass is incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down as the punting units come out into the field.
Not too bad. You did get some movement. You were deep in your own territory. You didn't turn it over. We'll, of course, like to see the drive extended, but a key reception on third down, and we talked about that earlier at the start of the game, that those receivers are going to have to make those catches. And so far, it's been about 50-50.
Well, the Jaguars are bringing the house as this punt will be fair catch at their own 44-yard line, and that's where the Jaguars will set up shop here to start this next drive. And then the Jaguars it appears that they're definitely bringing the house on Conley on third down. They're not letting him sit in the pocket and throw the ball or even take off running, if you will, to try to find the lane. They're bringing the house on third down. They did that in the first half, and they're doing that so far here in this third quarter. As he tried to find Collier Ricks, it was a slant route, and if he was able to wait if he had at least 2 more seconds to kind of let Collier get further downfield, it could have been a first down for the Panthers. But nonetheless,
swing pass. You counted that with that.
Yes, sir. So we do have a flag on the play.
False start.
This time it will be holding, but either way, it will be charged against the Jaguars. I think that's what you meant to say, Mike. Either way, I prefer the holding because a holding will give us 10. So I prefer the holding.
Take back that 5.
So take back
I
the 5.
I got my old pom-pom. Push them back, way back.
So it's going to repeat first down. That holding penalty charge against the Jaguars will back them up 10 yards. Ball now placed at their own 35-yard line. They have to get to the 45 of the Panthers for a first down. 1st and 20, ball placed at their own 35. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for McCray. As McCray sends a man in motion, he hands off to Sims at the left side. He's going to be met immediately, but he keeps his legs moving. He's finally brought down right at the 40-yard line. Keyshawn Johnson on the stop for the Panthers. Picks up about 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 15 for the Jaguars. As McCray looks to the sideline to get the call, he's going to have 2 receivers to his left and 2 to the right.
Got that rabbit foot out.
To his right. As McCray sends a man in motion. McCray Back to pass. He's being pressured. And he flushed out the pocket. He throws to his right, and he gets this one off downfield, past midfield. He's still on his feet past the 40, and he's going to be brought down just right at the 34-yard line.
Too many close calls.
As McCray was pressured, as he got that one off just in the nick of time. He had a man downfield. Panthers still kind of going with the soft zone defense. And he was able to pick up a huge game for the Jaguars. Now in Panther territory, ball plays at the 34-yard line. Another pass to the far right side of the field. He's going to be knocked out of bounds near the first down marker. Gain of about 9 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd and 1. Ball now placed at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. Jaguars moving right to left. 5:28 to go here in the third quarter. Jaguars on top of this one, 17-13. As we do have a stoppage in the play, timeout in the field, this time charge against the Panthers. As they're going to try to shake some things up there. It was a huge play by the Jaguars. 2 huge plays in a row as they find themselves in Panther territory when the teams go back out to the field with 5:26 to go here in the third quarter.
Yes, sir. Panthers are going to have to tighten that zone up. Now, the only reason you play a soft zone, you're not really trusting or feel that you have fast enough defenders to keep up or go in a man-to-man consistently. And it's kind of beating the Panthers at their own game right now.
And the Panthers are actually getting to Rashawn McCray, either rushing him or actually bringing him down, but he's getting the ball off just in the nick of time and getting it downfield when he needs to. He's definitely getting pressured, so the pass rush for the Panthers have been pretty good so far here in this ball game. He's getting the ball off just in the nick of time, but the secondary of the Panthers is going to have to tighten up here in this ball game.
Well, another thing, Andre, when you get that pressure like that, sometimes the defensive backs will get low to sleep and watching the quarterback in the backfield instead of keeping up with their assignment.
Yes, sir. Teams go back out into the field as they're going to hand this one off. Big hole to the right side, and he'll have plenty enough for another Jaguars first down as he gets this one inside the 20-yard line. Ball fish is going to be spotted at the 13-yard line of the Panthers.
We cannot afford to give up a touchdown right here. It's too far along. Once again, it's this third quarter that we've been concerned about. And right now they're going to have to bow their necks and make a stand.
Jaguars kind of pushing the tempo here. Another handoff on first down. This time he's not going to have anything doing. Brought down immediately at the line of scrimmage. Number 11, Kevin Victorian, on the stop for the Panthers. 2nd and 10 coming up. Ball placed at the 13-yard line of the Panthers. Jaguars moving right to left. As McCray looks to the sideline to get the call, he's going to have 2 receivers to his right and 1 to the left. Tim's going to be offset to his right. As McCray is going to hand this one off to Sims, he's going to cut to the left side, and he's going to be brought down. Not a whole lot doing on that play. Keyshawn Johnson in there again for the Panthers for a gain of no yards. So it's going to bring up another third down, another critical third down for the Panthers. Ball placed at the 13-yard line. 3rd and 10 to be exact.
You got to have it, PV.
Clock continues to move. We got 3:35 to go here late in the third quarter. Jaguars on top of this one, 17-13. A much-needed stop for the Panthers here on third down. As we have another stoppage on the play, it's going to be a timeout charge against the Jaguars. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football as we got 3:26 to go here late in the third quarter. Jaguars on top of this one by a score of 17-13.
While we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Teague's Barbecue, and A Rocket Movers and Storage. Thank you for your continued support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View A&M University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. It's going to be third down coming up when the teams come back out into the field. So what's your assessment so far here, Mike? What do the Panthers have to do here to try to get off the field on third down?
You got to force a field goal attempt, and hopefully your special teams can show up big. But we got to get off the field right now. Got to get off right now, because any positive yardage, Dooley is just about to go for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're able to at least attempt a field goal. There's been a defense that's been bending but hasn't broken so far, at least especially this season, inside the red zone. So if you can at least force a field goal, now would be nice, Mike, if the field goal team comes out to the field on fourth down, the Panthers able to get a stop here on third down, and we're able to get a block on the field goal attempt.
Yes, sir.
That turnover that we've been looking for, special teams have come up big for the Panthers so far this season, and what a great turnover that will be in a very critical moment here in this ball game for the Panthers.
No doubt about it, my friend.
As the team starts to make their way back out into the field, the ball is placed inside the 20-yard line, the 13-yard line to be exact of the Panthers. Jaguars moving right to left. 3rd and 10 coming up, as McCray is going to have 2 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. As McCray sends a man in motion, McCray drop back the pass, looking. He has plenty of time. He has a man in the back of the end zone, and it's going to be caught for a Jaguars touchdown.
Did not need that at all.
Number 88, August Petrie, on the touchdown reception for the Jaguars. And he was all by him lonesome on that play. Could have been some misconfusion in the secondary for the Panthers. They have not played exceptionally well so far here in this ball game, as Petrie was standing all by him lonesome in that end zone, as the Jaguars go at 23-13 here in the third quarter with the PAT to follow.
Well, what's happening, Andre, your defensive backs are conscious of the scrambling abilities of McCray. So they're cheating by following him in the backfield instead of staying disciplined on their assignments. And that's something that they got to play better than that. There's still enough time left, but you're going to have more opportunities to prove that you have the discipline to trust your scheme and stay on your responsibility.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trust your schemes. Stay on your responsibility. Worst case scenario, now mind you that Bishawn McCray did break for a couple of plays in that first half for the Jaguars, because we know he can get a job done on his feet as well. And if they're cheating, to your point, worst case scenario, if he's starting to beat you on the ground, you can maybe switch some things up. You can get a QB spy in there to kind of keep his eye on him. Keyshawn Johnson would be great for that because he's excellent against the run. But stick to your scheme and your game plan, and let Bishawn Johnson show you that, hey, he's going to have to try to run with his feet before you try to switch some things up.
Right. Now, the Panthers are going to have to really keep composure and respond on this drive. I know we've been talking about the critical approaches for that first drive of the second half, but this is a drive right now you can't afford not to counter with some type of points, preferably a touchdown.
Yes, sir. So Connor Weisham's going to field this one at the 1 yard line, and he's going to get past the 20. He's going to be brought down just right at the 24 yard line. And that's where the Panthers will set up shop. We'll see if they're going to try to answer the call here on this next drive as they find themselves trailing 24-13 here late in the third quarter with 3:15 remaining.
No doubt about it. Get yourself together. You've been an even attack, 21 runs to 20 passes so far. But now you got to dance with the one that got you here, and don't abort the run altogether to keep them off balance.
So ball placed at the 24 yard line. The other quarterback, Chris Herron, has checked in the game at quarterback for the Panthers. I checked on both sides to see if Trayvon Conley is maybe lined up at the wide receiver position. Nothing doing. And he's going to hand this one off to Jalen Howard on a jet sweep to the right side. Nothing doing as the Jaguars sniff that one out. He actually going to lose 1 yard on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. Chris Herron will stay out on the field as the quarterback for the Panthers.
Well, we hope there's no significant injury to Conley because he's been pretty decent thus far, and hopefully we can get him back in the game if need be.
Ball placed now at their own 23 yard line. Aaron's going to have 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. As Ahmad Antoine will be offset to his left. Aaron, drop back to pass. He steps up into the pocket. He's just going to keep himself past the 20. He's going to be brought down near the 30 yard line. Solid pickup by the Panthers. This is another guy who can also get the job done on his feet. As the other quarterback, Trayvon Conley, checks back into the game here on 3rd down. They put Conley back in there here on 3rd down. Conley's going to have 2 receivers to his right and 2 to the left. He looks to the sideline to get the call. Ahmad Antoine will be the running back to accompany him. He's going to be offset to his right. Conley back to pass. There's a swing pass to the right side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Nothing doing. Jaguars are able to stiff that one out. He's actually going to lose 2 yards on the play, and that will bring up 4th down for the Panthers.
Went to my swing pass, but it didn't get nowhere.
Went to the swing pass, did not get anywhere, as the Jaguars brought the house again on 3rd down, and they are hyped on the far side of the field right now, as the momentum appears to be on their side so far here in the 3rd quarter.
Yes, sir.
So this punt is off, nearly blocked, high in the air, and he's going to fair catch this one at about the 28 yard line. So far through 3 quarters of play, through the first 2 quarters to be exact, it was a back and forth between the Panthers and the Jaguars. But so far here in the 3rd quarter, it's been all Jaguars as they find themselves leading this one 24-13 here late in the 3rd quarter with 1:38 remaining.
Yes, sir, and you still got 1:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and we know that the 3rd quarters, for whatever reason, has been the blues for the Panthers thus far. So let's see if you can redeem yourself with this 1:38 remaining and catch your 2nd win in this 4th quarter and rally back for the win.
Deshaun McCray comes out to the field for the Jaguars. He's going to have 2 receivers to his left and 2 to the right. Play action fake. He has a man to the left side wide open. Past the 40. He's going to be brought down just right at the 43 yard line. It's going to be enough for another Jaguars 1st down. Play action fake on 1st down as he had a man to the left side of the field wide open to be exact. And number 14, Robert Rim, on that solid pickup for the Jaguars. He's going to have 1st down, ball placed at the 43 yard line. Jaguars moving right to left. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for McCray. He sends a man in motion. This time a handoff to Sims at the left side. He's going to get past the first wave of defenders. He's going to be brought down near midfield. Solid pickup on 1st down by Sims. About a 6 yard pickup to be exact. So 2nd and 4 coming up. Ball placed at their own 48-yard line. Clock continues to move here. We're now down to 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Empty backfield for the Jaguars. McCray's got 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. McCray, drop back to pass. He flips out of the pocket. He's going to throw this one to the far side of the field, and that pass is going to be caught out of bounds. And it will be enough for another Jaguars first down. So McCray was pressured on that play. The Panthers tried to put in the blitz package, brought the house a bit, if you will. McCray was able to get it off just in the nick of time. He's been doing that here in this ball game. As that last play will take us to the end of our third quarter. Jaguars leading this one. It's been all Jaguars so far here in the second half. And they're leading this one by the score of 24-13. We'll take a quick break and come right back with the start of our fourth quarter here from Blackshear Field. You're listening to Panther Football right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by A Rocket Movers and Storage, located at 3354 Yellowstone Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Be sure to contact James Woods at 713-545-0658. If you're looking for movers, a place to store your items, or if you need both, our good fellas at A Rocket Movers and Storage can get you a 2-for-1. So head on down there now. That's A Rocket Movers and Storage, and let them know that the Open Mic Broadcast Network sent you. Also, be sure to listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show, dissecting Prairie View athletics and all news and updates surrounding the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And again, you can check out the show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind.
It's been all Jaguar football so far here in the second half, as they're on top of this about a score of 24-13. As the teams get ready to switch sides, Mike, one more quarter to go for the Panthers to try to turn things around here in the second half.
Yes, sir. You got to dig down deep if you're the Panthers. It seems that the Jaguars are enforcing their will on the Panthers, setting it up with the play action and a very strong and, might I add, accurate quarterback of McCray.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this is a guy coming to this ball game who hasn't been a whole lot to talk about through the air so far through 6 weeks of play. That is Bichon McCray. But so far here in this ball game, he's been doing it both through the ground and through the air for the Jaguars here in this ball game. And when they talk about gut check time, it is definitely gut check time for the Panthers, as they got one quarter to try to turn things around here in this game. They find themselves trailing 24-13 here in this ball game.
Need a turnover.
Turnover has not come just yet, Mike. I know you've been asking for it. We have not seen it just yet from either defense or from special teams. We'll see if they can try to get the job done here in this fourth quarter. As we wait for the teams to go back out into the field, what's been your overall assessment so far here in this ball game, Mike? We do 3 quarters through all phases of the ball for the Panthers.
Yeah, well, it's been the same story that we've been looking for, getting over that third quarter hump. And regardless of who we've played, the third quarter has been the Achilles heels. I don't know if the guys are getting too relaxed at halftime. Maybe they're getting too many orange slices in them, and they're coming out a bit lethargic. And then they wake up and say, oh, it's the fourth quarter, and they find themselves spinning in overdrive. But they got to keep composing, more importantly, and start with the next play. Let's make something happen together and keep our offense encouraged to move this ball ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the teams go back out into the field, teams have switched sides. Jaguars now moving from left to right. They do have first down. They're inside Panther territory. Ball placed at the 45-yard line, to be exact. McCray's going to have 2 receivers to his left and 2 to the right. As McCray looks to the sideline to get the call. And McCray drop back the pass. He looks to the left side. He has a man downfield, and that pass is going to be caught. And he goes out of bounds. Another huge gain and another first down for the Jaguars. Not bad coverage on that play, but B'Shawn McCray put it right on the money, and that's a huge gain for the Jaguars. Ball now placed at the 10-yard line of the Panthers. First and goal. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for McCray. This time McCray is going to hand off to Sims at the left side. He's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play. As he was met by
so now what happens?
Guy. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Andre. What happens now if the Jaguars score a touchdown or anything really? It's going to set you in one mode of offense. That's pass, and that's where the defense can pin their ears back and start teeing off.
And to your point, that's not a mode that the Panthers have been accustomed to offensively. Yes, they're coming to this ball game. They started mixing some things up more, but they have not been in a mode where they pass. As B'Shawn McCray is going to take himself inside the end zone for another Jaguars touchdown. So
story of this game. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The story of this game is third down on defensive side. A lot of third and longs. You play in soft zones, and you're getting eaten alive with that package. And to stay in that package is just letting me know that maybe you don't trust the speed of your defensive backs.
And to your point, B'Shawn McCray is noticing that, and he's just kind of picking apart that secondary, and he waits for the right time, and if he needs to take off, he does exactly just that. As the snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Jaguars extend their lead here in the fourth quarter. On top of this, about a score of 31-13 with 13:44 remaining. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football right here on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com, or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party, and you can do so right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through Faith in Athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
All Jaguar football so far here in this second half. They extend their lead 31-13 here early in the fourth quarter with 13:44 remaining. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. And, Mike, you mentioned before the break the Jaguars were able to add additional points, which they were able to do on that last drive. You now kind of get into a different mode offensively for the Panthers as the clock is not on your side. So now you're going to have to try to score quickly, and typically by doing that you have to go pass. Again, something that the Panthers, again, they are capable of doing it, but not a mode that the Panthers have been accustomed to so far here this season.
Definitely not a characteristic of the Panthers' offensive attack, but it's what they're going to have to do. And you got to be creative with it, too. Use your tight end. Don't try to get it all in one play, but you got to start. 21 unanswered points now for the Southern Jags. They were down 13-10 at the half.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As this kick is off, and this one is going to sail out of bounds, and there's going to be a flag on the Jaguars. So the Panthers should start this drive with excellent field position, exactly what the doctors ordered. We're going to try to add points here on the scoreboard as they find themselves trailing 31-13 here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, sir. Now, what you got to do, once again, I keep sounding like a broken record, but keep composed, and you got to score, but you got to score quick. You can't burn up a lot of time. And I'm not sure how far ahead the offensive staff is thinking, but you got to start thinking onsides and everything else that can help you get back into this game.
Well, and also just kind of pushing the tempo. That hurry-up offense that the Panthers have done so far this season, you're definitely going to need that here on this next drive and throughout the remaining portion of this fourth quarter. As the ball now going to be placed at the 35-yard line of the Panthers, they're going to have 1st and 10. As Conley drop back to pass, he's been hit as he pressured, but he has a man downfield, and that pass is going to be caught by the redshirt senior, Jalen Howard. That's going to be a 1st down for the Panthers inside Jaguar territory.
There you go. That was the first Howard sight.
Panthers.
Yes, sir.
Ball now placed at the 39-yard line of the Jaguars. Panthers moving right to left. 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left for Conley. Jaden Stewart will be the running back for this drive for the Panthers. He's offset to Conley's left. Conley back to pass. They're bringing the pressure. He steps up into the pocket. He's just going to try to keep it himself, run to the right side, and he's able to dive forward to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Well,
as Conley was looking for his favorite target so far this game, Collier Ricks downfield, wasn't able to get the ball to him, so he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. As we have a little stoppage in the play, there's a flag on the play.
Roughing the pass.
Well, this flag was thrown before the play was off, so we know it definitely won't be roughing the passer, and it's going to be false start charge against the Panthers.
Wow.
That's going to back the Panthers up 5 yards. Instead of the ball being at the 39-yard line, the ball's now going to be at the 44-yard line. Panthers had to get to the 29-yard line of the Jaguars for a 1st down. But they will repeat 2nd down, 2nd and 15 now to be exact. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. Conley back to pass. He looks right, throws right. He has Jaden Stewart. That pass is caught. He's hit immediately. Only picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Well, it's definitely 4-down territory.
Absolutely. And you're inside Jaguar territory, so it's definitely 4th down territory. As Jaden Stewart checks out of the game, as the Panthers go with an empty backfield setup, a look that they love to show on 3rd down. 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right for Conley. Conley, drop back to pass. He looks to his left, and he's going to be met in the backfield for a sack. As Trayvon Conley was trying to roll out to the left side, but he was met immediately by number 58, Trey Lang. And that's going to bring up 4th down for the Panthers. Conley had all receivers downfield. There was an empty backfield setup. And usually when you do that, there's no protection, so you don't have a whole lot of time, especially if the pass rush has been getting to you by the opposing team. And they typically have brought the pressure to Trayvon Conley on 3rd down. It was a slight injury timeout with the teams that come back out into the field. But the ball is now placed at the 33-yard line of the Panthers. There was a flag on that last play. Weren't able to make out what the flag is. But here it's back the Panthers up deep in their own territory here on 4th down as the punting units have come out into the field.
I was going to say, yeah, you might as well punt it now.
Oh, absolutely. Got to punt this one off as he boots this one, and he fair catches this one inside the 20 They're going to officially mark this one at the 18-yard line. So a huge boot there on that punt, exactly what the Panthers needed, as the Jaguars will start their next drive here at their own 18-yard line as they find themselves up on this one by a score of 31-13 with 11:23 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Now, when you go back to your notes on Coach Dooley, he's an aggressive play caller, and he's been effective on that play action, okay? And I know the Panthers thinking that they're going to try to milk the clock, but Dooley wants to make a statement in this game just like he did last week. I would be heads up for that play action right about now.
Yes, sir. We're going to see how Eric Dooley and company are going to react here on this next drive. Are they going to make a statement, or they're just going to milk the clock? They're up 31-13 here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
11:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. Jaguars on top of this one, 31-13. All Jaguar football so far here in this second half. We talked about second half of football being the Achilles heel for the Panthers, specifically third quarters to be exact, and they kind of dig themselves into a hole in the third quarter here in this ball game, and now they're going to try to climb their way back here as they're trailing 31-13 in the fourth quarter with 11:23 remaining, Mike.
Yeah, well, you say a hole, but my grandmama would call this a ditch. This is a pretty tall, deep hole. So they got to move and move fast.
It was a hole. It's a ditch now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a ditch.
well, still a ditch that you can climb yourself out of, but adjustments definitely are going to have to be made on both sides of the ball. As the team starts to start their way back out into the field, Deshaun McCray and company looking strong so far for the Jaguars here in the second half. As the ball is going to be placed at their own 18-yard line, Jaguars moving left to right. McCray is going to have three receivers to his right. As Carr Ligon is going to be offset to his left. A handoff to Ligon up the middle, gets past the first wave of defenders, and he's going to be brought down. Picks up a solid few yards on the play for the check that for the Jaguars. 6-yard pickup to be exact. Going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Jaguars. Ball placed at their own 25-yard line. Clock continues to move. We got 10:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for McCray. Another handoff to the right side. Gets past the first wave of defenders. Brought down right at the 30-yard line. It will be enough for another Jaguars first down.
Well, you're going to get a ton of this right now.
Yes, sir. So it looks like they're going to milk the clock here on this drive. We talked about what Eric Dooley and company were going to do here to start this next drive of the fourth quarter, where they're going to continue with the aggressive attack through the play action fake, or they were going to try to milk the clock. So far, they're just milking the clock as they have another first down. Ball placed at their own 30-yard line. Another handoff up the middle. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on that play. T. Roy James and company on the stop for the Panthers. They're going to officially mark this one at the 32-yard line. So he picked up 2 yards on that play, forward progress. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Jaguars. $9:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. As McCray looks to the sideline to get the call, marks at the line of scrimmage, and we have a whistle on the field. Looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field charged against the Jaguars with 9 minutes to go. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. That was their final timeout. 31-13 our score in favor of the Jaguars with 9:26 to go. They just burnt their last timeout. We'll take a break and come right back with more Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
We're taking a quick break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Be sure to listen to us live during our next broadcast coverage of Panther football on Saturday, October 22nd, as the Panthers will hit the road to take on Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Kickoff of that game is scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m., and we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch the play-by-play coverage live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network by dialing 857-777-0000. And again, it's only on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics. Today's game is brought to you by A-Rocket Movers and Storage, located at 3354 Yellowstone Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Be sure to contact James Woods at 713-545-0658. If you're looking for movers, a place to store your items, or if you need both, our good fellas at A-Rocket Movers and Storage can get you a 2-for-1. So head on down there now. That's A-Rocket Movers and Storage, and let them know that the Open Mic Broadcast Network sent you. Also, be sure to listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show, dissecting Prairie View athletics and all news and updates surrounding the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And again, you can check out the show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind.
9:26 to go here in the fourth quarter. Panthers trailing this one 31-13. Again, as we mentioned before, it's been all Jaguars so far here in the second half, as the Panthers have a tall task to order if they're going to try to climb themselves back into this ball game. As the teams come back out into the field, it will be 2nd and 8 for the Jaguars. Ball placed at their own 32-yard line. Jaguars moving left to right. McCray is going to have 2 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. As Sims going to be offset to his left. 2nd and 8 for the Jaguars. Another handoff to Sims. He's going to cut to the right side. He's going to get past the 35, brought down right at the 37-yard line by Keyshawn Johnson. Not enough for a first down. It's going to bring up a critical 3rd down for the Panthers, but it will be 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 2 to be exact. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for McCray. This time McCray is going to keep it himself to the left side. He's going to turn on the Jets past the 40, past the 30, nothing but daylight past the 20, 15, and then he's finally going to be knocked out of bounds right at the 18-yard line. Oh, check that. The 13-yard line to be exact. Huge run, huge game, and a first down for the Jaguars.
Yeah, that was a dagger there, Andre.
Jaguars went with a play-action fake. They went with a play-action fake on that 3rd and 2. Keyshawn McCray picked up a huge game for the Jaguars. And they're going to hand this one off to the right side, nothing doing. He's met at the line of scrimmage for a gain of no yards on the play. So definitely a dagger due to that huge run, that previous run by the quarterback, Keyshawn McCray, as we got 7:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Play action fake. to the left side. Bishan McCray keeps it himself, past the 10, past the 5. He tries to dive in the end zone. But they're going to say he was out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. They're officially going to mark this one at the 3-yard line. So play action fake to the left side. And Bishan McCray just kept it himself. This is a guy that's very dangerous, has been very dangerous, on the ground and through the air for the Jaguars. Picks up another solid gain on that last play for the Jaguars. As they're knocking on the door yet again, well within Panther territory. Ball now placed at the 3-yard line to be exact. Another handoff to Ligon to the left side. He extends the ball to the goal line. And they're going to call it a touchdown for the Jaguars.
Yeah, they're pouring it on now.
Pouring it on here at Blackshear Field. As it was an option play to the left side, he pitched to Ligon right at the last minute. And he was able to extend that ball past the goal line for another Jaguar touchdown to go up 37-13 here in the fourth quarter with the PAT to follow.
Yes, sir. This has definitely been another nightmarish third quarter. Got the Panthers where they are right now.
Another nightmare third and fourth quarter to be exact.
I was just going to say, I might as well say the second half.
It's been a nightmare second half for the Panthers. And usually in previous ball games, if the Panthers kind of come out a bit flat in the second half, they usually find a way to recover and still somehow able to pull out a victory in this ball game. But so far here in this game, dug themselves in the ditch, as we've called it so far. It's a tunnel now at this point. It was a hole. It turned into a ditch. Now it's below ground. It is below cement. A tunnel now at this point. They're now trailing 38-13 here in the fourth quarter with 7:03 remaining.
Yes, indeed, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll take a quick break and come right back with more Panther football. You're listening to Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com. Or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith in athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back to Panther football right here from Blackshear Field. 7:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. Panthers trailing this one 38-13 as they find themselves down by 4 possessions here in this ball game. Not looking good for the Panthers so far here in the second half.
No, it's not, Andre, but you still can get some good out of it with the time remaining. See how your guys respond to adversity. See if there's no quit. You look in their eyes right now. You can see who's going to be a baller or a caller. And I call the callers are the ones that call their mama or their daddy when they get a bump on their knee and ask them someone to kiss it. Now you just got to adjust, finish strong, and get this thing behind you.
Well, Christian Mosley is going to field this one at his own 5-yard line. He's going to be brought down right at the 22-yard line on that kick return. So Trayvon Conley and company trots out into the field. Going to try to answer the call as much as possible here on this next drive. Conley's going to have 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. As Ahmad Antoine will be the running back to accompany Conley. He's going to be offset to Conley's right. Chris Herron, the other quarterback at receiver. A handoff straight ahead. Ahmad Antoine up the middle. 2-yard pickup on the play. Clock moves here. Panthers going to have to try to push the tempo just a little bit. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Conley, drop back to pass. He has a man past the 30, past the 45. Check that, past the 40. He was brought down right at the 42-yard line. First down for the Panthers.
Got to move with urgency.
Moving with a bit of an urgency. Ball now placed at the 41-yard line. Play action fake, and the pass is going to be tipped and intercepted. As he passed the 40, past the 30, 10, 5, touchdown Jaguars.
Oh, boy.
Unbelievable. And you can credit that interception to number 7, Jordan Carter. As that pass was tipped, he was trying to hit Collier Ricks downfield. It was tipped, and Jordan was able to catch it and go into the end zone unscathed, if you will. So now 44-13 our score in favor of the Jaguars with the PAT to follow. As the snap is down, kick is up, and the extra point is good with plenty of real estate. 45-13 our score now in favor of the Jaguars. 6:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll take another break and come right back with more Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
While we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Teague's Barbecue, and A Rocket Movers and Storage. Thank you for your continued support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
So the woes continue for the Panthers. That last interception allowed the Jaguars to go up now 45-13 here in the fourth quarter with 6:03 remaining.
45-13 with 35 unanswered points.
35 unanswered points. As the kicking team has come out to the field, Christian Mosley and Connor Wysham back to receive this one. And they're going to let this one sail in the back of the end zone. So they're going to have this one at their own 25-yard line. And while we got 6:03 to go here in the fourth quarter, now a 5-possession ball game. Very unlikely for the Panthers to try to come back here in this one. So if you're the Panthers, what is the mindset going here late in this fourth quarter with 6:03 remaining as you find yourself down by 5 possessions to try to come back here in this ball game?
Don't quit. Keep fighting. Finish strong.
Finish strong. Start what you finish. We'll see if the Panthers can do that here on this drive. Trayvon Conley and company comes out into the field. Stewart's going to be offset to his left. A handoff to Stewart. Gets past the first wave of defenders. He gets past the 30. Brought down near the first down marker. They're going to say he's a yard shy. 9-yard pickup there by Jaden Stewart. Clock continues to move here. There were 5:45 to go. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. This time a pass by Trayvon Conley to the left side. He has a man. That pass is caught. And he's going to be brought down right at the 40-yard line. It's going to be a first down for the Panthers. Chris Herron on the reception for the Panthers. Ball officially spotted at the 41-yard line. Panthers moving right to the left. 1st and 10. A handoff to Stewart up the middle. Wide open hole. Past midfield, past the 45, and he's going to be brought down right at the 41-yard line of the Jaguars. Nice run there by Jaden Stewart, and a first down for the Panthers. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Conley back to pass, up into the pocket. He's being pressured. He's going to roll to his left side, and he's just going to run this one out of bounds. And looks like he was not able to make it back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard on that quarterback scramble. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 for the Panthers.
Technically, that's considered a sack.
Yes, sir. Ball now plays at the 43-yard line. Hand off to Stewart. He accelerates up the middle, and he's going to be brought down past the 35-yard line. They're going to officially mark this one at the 33. Pick up by Jaden Stewart. 3rd and 2 for the Panthers. Panthers go with a hurry-up offense. He throws this one downfield, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Chris Herron, the intended receiver, on the play, as he was not able to haul that one in, as it bounced right off his chest. We talked about drop passes by this receiving core. The Panthers come into this ball game. So far, they haven't had that issue, but an incomplete pass on that play. This is 4th down territory. That's going to bring up 4th and 2 for the Panthers. Ball plays at the 33-yard line of the Jaguars. Panthers moving right to left. This time a handoff to Connor Wysham up the right side, and he's going to get past the 20, brought down right at the 19-yard line. A first down for the Panthers. The freshman running back, Connor Wysham, checked in the game for Jaden Stewart. Picks up a solid game that play for the Panthers. Panthers go with hurry-up offense. They're going to give it to him again. This time he's going to have nothing doing. Met at the line of scrimmage by a plethora of Jaguars. And he will actually lose yards on that play, 2 yards to be exact. Clock continues to run here. 3:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. 45-13 our score in favor of the Jaguars. Ball now plays at the 20-yard line. Panthers moving right to left. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Conley's got Wysham offset to his right. Hand off to Wysham again. This time he will get past the 20. And he gets those negative yards back to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Panthers. By the 3-yard pickup on that play by Connor Wysham. Hurry-up offense for the Panthers. Another handoff to Connor Wysham. He will not have much doing. He was met right at the line of scrimmage. And it will not be enough for a first down. Clock continues to run. 2:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. 4th and 8 to be exact for the Panthers. Ball is now placed at the 16-yard line of the Jaguars. $13 seconds to go here on the play clock. Panthers trying to switch things up. 5 seconds now. They're going to have to snap this one off. Empty backfield for the Panthers. As they snap this one off right at the last time, and he's going to roll to his right side. He has a man downfield, and that pass is going to be caught. He will not have enough for a Panthers first down, and that will do it as we have a turnover on downs. We got 1:56 to go here in the 4th quarter. Yes, sir.
Second half nightmares.
Second half nightmares for the Panthers. It's been all Jaguar football so far here in this second half. If you were not able to catch the first half, it's been more of it was a boxing match in that first half, if you will. That was the metaphor we've been using in this broadcast. We haven't been using so far here in this second half because it's been all uppercuts by the Jaguars.
And knockouts. Uppercuts and knockouts.
Uppercuts and knockouts. Jaguars have been doing nothing but haymakers here in this second half. They're going to get the ball now back at the 17-yard line. They're going to go with a run on first down to kind of keep milking the clock here. 1:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Jaguars are kind of taking their time here as McCray looks to the sideline to get the call. About a couple more plays offensively for the Jaguars, and that likely will do it here in this ball game. 2nd and 9 for the Jaguars. Another handoff to the left side. He's going to get past the 20. He's going to be brought down right at the 25-yard line near the first down marker with a minute to go here in the fourth quarter. As the clock continues to run, as we're under 50 seconds to go here in this ball game, McCray just kind of taking his time here on offense, milking this clock out as much as possible, as the Jaguars are going to probably run one more play, and that should do it here in this ball game from Blackshear Field.
Yes,
Panthers
indeed.
were not able to make the call. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Panthers were not able to answer call here in the second half. Second half, Achilles heel continues, but this time the Panthers are on the opposite side of that against the Southern Jaguars.
No doubt about it. And it all started with that third quarter. 21 unanswered points in the third quarter, followed by another 14 points in the fourth quarter for a remarkable 35 unanswered points in the second half.
Yes, sir. And with that last play, that will do it here from Blackshear Field. Panthers fall short in this one against Western Division opponent Southern Jaguars by the score of 45-13.
Yes, sir, Andre. It's not much of a party, but we're going to stir up the party strings and get everything that we can with the 1876 after party. We'll be 15 minutes at the conclusion of this broadcast. Really and truly a disappointing second half for the Panthers, not able to execute. And yes, this says, 45-13 is the final score. But, and I'm not trying to sound like a homer, it was not a dominating game as such as it was. It was the Panthers killing themselves on third downs. They could not get off the field on third down. And I'm not talking about third and short, third and longs, third and 12s, third and 9s. Those are downs that you got to execute. You got to win those plays to give your offense a chance to help you win ball games.
Well, and more importantly for the Panthers defensively, it just appears that they weren't able to try to make some adjustments against the offense of Southern, Mike. We talked about this at quarterback Deshaun McCray and the fact that the Panthers are kind of sagging off defensively, just sagging off in that zone defense. They never tighten anything up in this ball game as if they were just trying to anticipate McCray trying to take off running, but he was able to find sweet spots in that zone defense for the Panthers, and when he was able to take off, for very positive gains for the Jaguars. So Deshaun McCray did everything for the Southern Jaguars offensively here in this ball game, through the air and on his feet, and because of it, they're looking at a 45-13 victory here against the Panthers.
Well, when you look at it, Andre, it was two things happening offensively for the Jags, and you got to give Dooley his credit. Panthers were aggressive defensively all the way up to week 6, and they took advantage of that aggression on first downs in particular with the play action. You anticipating run, you're leaving huge holes on in your zone, cover 2 coverage and whatnot. And on third downs, when you got a couple of big plays for loss, you're playing so soft now that you're letting the guys get in front of you to catch the ball for catch and runs, what they call yaks, yards after catch. And those two combinations kind of just destroyed the Panthers today.
Well, and on top of that, Mike, no adjustments being made. I'm gonna be real interested to see what happens next week. I know you typically talk to the coaching staffs of the Panthers following the conclusion of a game leading into the next week against the next opponent. I'll be real interested to see what's going to happen moving forward because there was no adjustments made defensively for the Panthers in this ball game. It's one thing that if a team comes out and whatever game plan that you had set or whatever scheme that you have set is not working, specifically we see here in this ball game, but when you're not able to make any adjustments, it calls for certain questions moving forward in the ball game. So the fact that the Panthers were not able to make any adjustments is the most surprising for me here in this ball game against Southern.
Yes, sir. And the good thing about all of this is that the Panthers get a bye week coming up. So they get to put this behind them. You can't let this game beat you twice. You will have another challenge with Lamar on the road. And by the way, we'll give you that coverage right here at the Up and Mike Broadcast Network. And they get a chance to kind of lick their wounds, go and get healed up, and go through the necessary tweaks that it's going to take. Because guess what? You still have Alcorn to deal with. And Alcorn will bring the thunder, as we know they accustomadly do. The good thing about all of this, Andre, we have to thank our kinfolk down the road at Texas Southern. They beat Southern, okay? Now you have to take care of your business against Alcorn. And you got to hope that Alcorn can get Southern. Then
Yes,
you got to hope that Grambling can get Southern as well. Because now Southern takes the inside track with this loss, and it's not necessarily the losing, it's how you lose that makes this one a bit bitter to swallow.
Well, and that was one of the things that we talked about, Mike, and during our pregame show in terms of being able to control your destiny, especially with the way that things are set up in the Southwest Athletic Conference, East versus West, the best from the East versus the best from the West. If you're able to control your destiny, then that just puts you in a better place to be successful throughout the end of the season. Now, in this particular case, if you're the Panthers, yes, you still want to make sure that you're beating the team that's in front of you and continue to beat the teams that's in front of you. But due to this loss tonight, yes, you have to continue to win, but you're going to also need some teams to lose to try to put yourself back in the position that you were last year. And that's what we're kind of hoping
Yes,
the
sir.
Panthers. If you're able to control your own destiny, then you don't have to worry about other teams winning in order for you to get the spot that you need. But when you don't take care of business, you have to continue to win, but now you have to allow – now other teams are going to have to try to win as well to put you in a better position at the end of the season.
No doubt about it. And an old blues song, you say it's my own fault, you know, and the Panthers have really no one to blame but themselves on this one. But you know what? When you're dealing with youngsters, they're resilient. It's the old folk who will be swollen after this one, but they'll get ready to bounce back and live to fight another day. And we'll be right there to
Yes,
fight
sir.
that day with them, Andre, because it is what it is, right? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take us a quick break, about a 60-second break, and we'll come back with our final thoughts and comments as we get ready for the after party. Panthers, I don't even say take one on the chin. They just got knocked out tonight, 45-13. You listen to the Upper Light Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party post-game show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com. Or you can dial in at 857-777-0000. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith and athletics since 2002, and we are the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
Panthers falling short in this one by the score of 45-13. Welcome back to Panther Football right here in the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. We're in the midst of our post-game show here from Blackshear Field. Andre Davis alongside the Dr. Mike Prince. So what's your final thoughts and assessments of the Panthers here in this ball game, and what do we have to look forward to of Panther football moving forward here in the 2022 season, Mike?
Well, you burn the video, burn the tape. Okay, you know what you did. This was a mixture of being overly hyped. It was also not executing on third downs defensively, nor offensively for that matter. And this was more of what I would call an emotional letdown. Now, it's not making no excuses. Southern came out, executed, and did what they needed to do to come out the victor in today's contest. But there were a lot of things that the Panthers did wrong that didn't help their cause. And because of that, they find themselves on a disastrous loss. And when I say disastrous, we know the emotion that was coming involved with this. Eric Dooley coming back to town. Jason Dumas coming back to town. First place positioning at state. And just all of the side stories, coaching staffs that were left behind and moved forward, and just all the emotions. And then on top of it, leading to this contest, the removal of your athletic director. So there were a lot of things, and no excuses. Southern beat Prairie View today, no doubt about it. They beat them. But, man, what a lot to overcome. Get this behind you. Let's move forward. Let's get ready for Lamar.
Well, the Panthers are going to have to try to figure out to come out in the second half and play four quarters of football for the rest of the season, Mike. It's something that we've been harping on so far here in this ball game, but we keep harping on it because so far, and I'm pretty sure the head coach, Bubba McDowell, will mention it again, that so far through 6 weeks of play, the Panthers have yet to play 4 full quarters of football. And when you're talking about trying to get back to come back as Western Division champions that you were previous season, I can assure you that you are not going to get there without playing 4 full quarters of football. So that's something that the Panthers are going to have to try to tighten up on and try not to come out in the second half so flat, or be able to answer the call similar to what you was doing in the first half. So that's what I'm going to be looking for the Panthers moving forward here throughout the rest of the 2022 campaign.
We can also ask for them to amend the rule that we just play first half of football. And let's end the game after the first half. Think they'll amend that rule?
Unfortunately, we can't. Unfortunately, we cannot. There's 4 quarters. There's always been 4 quarters. And they can't change it up just because the Panthers don't want to play 4 full quarters. So they're going to have to try to find a way to keep the same momentum. First and second quarters, no problem for the Panthers. Third and fourth quarters, not so much. Not so much.
Well,
and so far, yes, sir.
I was just saying, oh me, oh my.
Well, and to your point, as the old saying goes, no sense of crying over spilt milk. Panthers were not able to get the job done here from Blackshear Field, losing this one by a score of 45-13, and following in about 10 to 15 minutes, the Dr. Mike Prince will fire things back up. Again, we don't know how much of a party it's going to be, but we do got our 1876 post-game after party featuring yours truly, the Dr. Mike Prince, to kind of break down the overall assessment of today's game and what the Panthers and PV Nation have to look forward to throughout the rest of the 2022 campaign. Any final words, sir?
Let's pull the plug.
We want to save it for the party.
yeah, we're going to pull the plug and save it for the party.
All right. We'll pull the plug and save it for the party. Panthers losing this one by the score of 45-13. I'm Andre Davis. He's Dr. Mike Prince. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in for today's game. We want to thank all of our sponsors for today's game and making today's game possible. Panthers were not able to get a victory out of this one from Blackshear Field, but as they always say, you should live to fight another day. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.